Welcome to the this week's developer stream. I'm LiquidOtacon, and I'm here with ETPC and a number of other friends here joining us today in the chat. Um,
Hello.
Hey.
so today, the main task is to work on some things that have been requested for me to check out from some of the other designers, along with just some more ironing out, really, and maybe some decorating too. We're really working through the home stretch here, so yeah. The first thing we're going to try to do is currently the player can sequence break um, this crane moving back here, which is okay. We want the player to still be able to do that,
Right.
but we're going to do is at least make it so the player can get back through there when they need to.
You don't want to soft lock them.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I can confirm this time around that Discord audio is in fact working. So
Awesome.
we won't have a solo 2-hour stream just for you.
That's good. That one is still going up on YouTube. I just haven't gotten to cutting it up just yet.
For sure.
All right.
Hey, Des.
We're starting a little rough here. I'm gonna have to restart my editor. I'm not.
Yeah, because you're no longer on Windows, right?
Yeah, and it works, but it can be a little hokey sometimes. So just a little bit
What
of
operating system?
working with that. Running Manjaro.
Right on.
It's a distribution of Arch Linux.
I wondered if it was a Linux base.
This is the year of Linux on the desktop, baby.
Last year was really the year of Linux on my desktop. But once both of my laptop and my computer crapped out on me, I just didn't get back to it when I came back to getting my new laptop. So we're just getting back into it now.
Hey, how's everybody?
Doing pretty good.
I'm all right.
My cat scratched me this morning while I was waking up. That wasn't great. I got a very tiny cut on my thumb, which it's one of those cuts where like the minute air gets to it, it's like, yes, there's a cut here.
Oh, howdy, man.
Sounds par for the course for a cat owner, you gotta say, to be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just having a set of walking knives in your house. Oh damn, Rainbow, that sucks.
I got root beer. I got root beer, and I got Schlinkenspec. Life is good.
What's Schlinkenspec?
Yeah, what is that?
Dry cured bacon.
Oh hell yeah, nice.
Sounds good.
It's similar in many respects to prosciutto.
Oh hell yes.
I love how I worked in this thing for like 3 hours this morning to make sure that it would be fine, and now 2 for 2 I try to launch Ducat and it's giving me some kind of problem. Are we gonna be just a sec? Push comes to shove, I still have Windows installed too, so we can just swap over really quick and it'll just be a little disjointed, but
yeah,
it's for the spirit of it, you know.
Granddad says in the chat, ideally you want to allow sequence breaking to keep them from getting stuck, like how halfway speedrunners basically skip almost every scripted sequence. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're going with here.
I think from like the first stream you were talking about how like that's kind of one of the core like design principles is like, because I think we're very cognizant of the fact that a lot of Duke fans don't really give a shit about like when our like story sequences or scripted sequence, and like there are people who absolutely do, but the people who don't, we want to give them an ability to just like bypass what they want and just get straight to the the shoot.
Like the Doom 2016 issue, which they fixed in Eternal.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so this just throws moving crane. Okay, that's fine. So what we can do is We'll stay in wireframe mode because that seems like it's stable. As silly as this is and as rough as it is to look at, we'll switch back when we need to. But so
Yeah.
I think what we're gonna do is we're going to. So there's no reason for the player to go back there before they finish all the events up in here.
So hello. Oh, hey, Brandon.
Hello. Brandon,
why don't you tell the people what you do on this project?
I am the music director, and right now I'm gathering the only composer.
Yeah.
I have just taken 2 weeks off work, so I'm in a slam session this first slice and get it all done if I can.
Outstanding.
I've just been going through the demo yesterday and today, and just getting up to speed with everything. It's looking pretty good. It's way easier and more sensible to get through the levels now than it was in the original leak.
Absolutely.
So that's nice. And it's nice that people have dialogue too. The game actually feels more alive now.
Absolutely, yes. I fully agree.
And yeah, once it's amazing how the little things, and it's usually in the audio department. It's amazing how the little things just make the whole game seem like 200 times more complete than it was.
Mm-hmm.
So once dialogue's in there now, once we get a little more dialogue and then a bunch more music in, it's gonna really feel fun, I think.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Rainbow Gem says, have you guys thought about adding Bink support? Seems like there was some early work on it. Look inside engine/lib. There should be a file called binkw32.
That was actually a big discussion we recently had. So the problem with adding Bink support is you have to pay for it. It's a license thing.
Oh yeah,
that's all Rad Game Tools, right?
Yep. And Smacker, hilariously, we use Rad Game Tools to generate our Smacker files because that's free source. It's open. That's freeware. But in order to use Smacker is fine. You can use Smacker because it was depreciated in 1996. So.
You mean deprecated?
I think both are correct.
Yeah.
Depreciated is deprecated is totally off the table. Depreciated is lowering a little bit. So it's a little different. I'm a grammar Nazi. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Doesn't matter. You get the idea. You get the idea.
In the words
I'm just teasing.
In the words of the guy from Buck Cherry, and words, man, we made them up.
I've actually. Has anybody here seen the new video of the Duke Nukem Forever series?
The Frame Raider one?
Yeah, Frame Raider, yes.
Yeah, oh, fucking amazing, yeah.
I have not. Someone send me a link to that post-haste.
I definitely will. I'm on that.
Wait, same two, please.
Yep, I'll drop in voice text for y'all.
Cool. Is that No Mic General or?
No, this is actually Frame Raider.
Oh, I see. Open chat. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Frame Raider is actually on the team, which is really awesome to see. But this video in particular, the one I just linked in voice chat, I'd also link in the Twitch chat too, in case people are interested. This video had stuff in it that even as someone who has been following this project to an obsessive degree since not even since it started, but that's where I kind of got really intense about it with around 2012, 2013. There was stuff in this video that even I didn't know about, like how pig-centric the 2003 builds were, and how they had to have a guy come in and be like, hey, can we stop with the fucking pigs for a moment?
Yeah. I thought that was very interesting. Also, there was another piece of army ant concept art in that video, which I had never seen before, which was always cool
the
to
super
see.
buff one?
Yeah.
Wait, do we have a Twitch channel? Because I'm not following it.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I'll drop it in voice channel.
Great.
There are some things in his video that I'm hesitant about.
Oh, there's the history video.
His suggestion based off of The 2003 video.
Oh yeah.
How we've all seen it naturally.
Yeah.
The door there was a green door that opens, and then Duke walks through and then gets his shades updated.
Oh, well, he gets like the radar patch or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
He suggests that it's a Duke cave, but I don't think it is.
Yeah,
that
I am
didn't look like the
actually.
Duke cave.
Yeah, I agree with that because my theory is so there's another video later on where it shows Duke dropping from a ship into Lake Mead. I think that sequence into the 2003 video is that ship that drops the boat in Lake Mead.
Yeah, so do I. Because if you look really far into the foreground,
Uh-huh.
you can see a lot of what appears to be the ship, the boat, which you then drop down on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, I could be wrong.
Totally, yeah.
Awesome. That's fixed.
Oh, he also mentioned that female zombie character in the 2003 footage was Fat Mama, and I don't think that's correct. It doesn't look like the Fat Mama concept art or anything we know about her.
No, yeah, I tend to agree with it. I do think that Framer got more things. At least they got things more correct, or at least things that like I think would be correct than they didn't. That's for sure. But yeah, there's definitely things where like we just won't know the answers until there are more stuff leaks.
Point blank about that female character,
Mhm.
you can make any suggestion about her, and you might be right.
I always thought that there was some like transitional idea between the Snatcher concept and the, let's be honest, fucking terrible Pregnator concept. Where, yeah, like there was some transitional idea there where they were trying to like merge the two, and that tentacle zombie was kind of them experimenting with that. Also, hello.
That
Some
Randy
people-
quote about the Pregnator is hilarious, by the way.
Is that Randy or George who said that? Because I think it was
remember.
George
Was
who
it
says like,
George?
as long as it's got a testicles and a penis, we're fine.
Yeah, the fucking Jesus.
All right.
Oh, that team, man.
Yep.
They
It just.
Whoop.
to an interesting conclusion that I've been meaning to share.
Yeah.
Fair warning to begin with, I might be wrong.
Of course,
But-
it's theory crafting. That's what we do here, right?
But hear me out, at least.
Lay it on us.
Go.
2006 video. You see Duke walking the streets of a undisclosed location, which appears to be a building that looks similar to the Golden Nugget.
Right.
A real life location. I am certain at this point that it is part of the 2003 version that wasn't updated, but left in the files.
A lot of the 2006 footage looks like older maps and meshes, just with new characters and things.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I think 2006 would probably be the most unfinished version of the game, to be frank, because it's just like really weird. I don't know. I would not.
They're redoing it and
never do that.
repurposing everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also like trying to cut everything down so it fits on a console.
I thought that didn't happen until like 2008.
It happened. So the idea happened post pre-release. So that would have been When did Prey
Prey's
06
2006, right?
Yeah. So when did it actually come out?
The release date. I can look that
Yeah.
up.
So that would have been July 2006. So they
Okay.
probably got their sales figures back around, say, August,
Yeah.
and they were like, despite the quality of that 360 port, it outsold the PC port on a pretty huge ratio, and that kind of made Miller and Broussard think that, yeah, like Duke needs to run on the 360 and PS3 above all else. And yeah, that's kind of where we got to where we are, kind of even more so.
Because I told LiquidOtacon this,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm dead certain now by 2003, based off of the leaked build, that Duke travels back to the Las Vegas Boulevard via a train system,
Mm-hmm.
and that the blocked off potions we see in the build we have would be able to be visited once Duke returns.
Didn't they talk about wanting to do stuff like that? I
So
don't think they ever actually implemented it, though.
that's what Schreiber said, is that like there was a train and tram system, and there was like a little bit more like wide linear design, like almost like an RPG. And like we just, I don't think that was ever the case, because I remember that Charlie Wiederhold was once asked that, and he said that there was not really a time when like there was non-linearity in DNF's design, in terms of just like returning to past maps and things like that. I could be wrong.
I don't think it's a case of non-linearity.
Hmm.
I personally believe it's a case of reused content.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
To like
God knows,
expand the game.
yeah, how much placeholders they had at that time, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I personally believe with 06 and bits of 03 that I've stared at recently, that Duke returns to the Las Vegas Boulevard,
Yeah.
and eventually, one way or another, I don't know, makes his way to the stratosphere.
Yeah. That's interesting, because the 98 plot, or at least like the 97, 98 plot, was all like had an element where Vegas gets nuked at one point.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, Wump.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Want to say, Granddad says, Prey is a really interesting saga of its own. The late 90s versions looked insane. They still had the portal and gravity gimmicks. Yeah, Prey 98 was really fucking out there. I don't know if it would have been a good game, so to speak. I mean, there were some ideas in Prey 98 that were kind of questionable. If those of you who don't know, there is actually a Prey 98 intranet that leaked somehow, that's on the Duke 4 site, and you can look at like all like their like internal news sources and like the design docs of Prey 98, and like they had a really solid idea story wise, but it was also like it just seemed a little bit too, I don't know, like way too sprawling and unfocused, to the point where
That's believable, really.
yeah, like they had some really fucking out there ideas. They were trying to go like grand sci-fi on that shit, like going full blown, like almost Dune level, from what I could tell. Which is a sharp contrast to what they're doing with Duke, which is much more tongue in cheek. But they were going to be treating Prey like very, very seriously, and at the same time, they were going to have a native character named Talon Brave. So,
Yeah, I do. I remember reading a line in the some preview somewhere where it said that it was going to be a Native American, but he was going to be a successful businessman to strike against the stereotypes.
Really?
That's one thing that never ended up in the final game.
That's weird, because in the design docs and the intranet, they're talking about him being a mechanic from day one.
Wow. Yeah, this was like official, like previewed. I read somewhere. I know it was official. I don't remember where. I just remember looking up on some old Prey stuff and reading that.
Interesting. Okay, I wonder.
Maybe that was like before it even started. Maybe that was just like the idea.
Well, because there was also Tom Hall's version of Prey, which is where it was almost like more like Quake 3 at that point, where like the character gets abducted and has to fight in arenas to like please the alien masters and stuff. And then, of course, Tom Hall said, "Fuck this! I'm not getting paid well, and I hate it here." And then John Romero called, and he went to Ironstorm.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard that the Prey tech is apparently extremely impressive for the time and like works way more than you think it would. But like, I remember the core issue of the game was, and I think one of the developers even said this, is that like portals are really cool for tricks, but when you try to base an entire game design around them, it's kind of a nightmare, and they just never could find like the fun, so to speak, before they all got moved over to Duke.
Fun thing, there's we have images of like Prey 98 and enemies and things, like models of them. Anyway, in 2001, there's textures for those models, like the same colors and same names and shit.
Oh yeah.
So I think at some point they were using 98 Prey models as like tests for DNF, which is interesting.
For sure. Yeah, that is actually really interesting. I wonder if that because there's like lamp meshes in the leak that are from Prey 98, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting because based on my understanding, like Unreal and Prey tech could not be more different from each other.
I believe there's a folder called Al's Monster Stuff or something, and it has all those textures that are named after the Prey things, and they're the same colors and shit.
Interesting.
And there's a level that's like an arena or something that's named after that's Al's Monster or something. It's very weird.
That's wild.
Yeah. 98 Prey was an oddity, that's for sure.
It really was.
I'm curious. Do you have anybody managed to get a hold of? I'm trying to. Joe Jing.
What?
I don't know if Joe Jing is he still even working?
Yes, he's working with the studio who does Magic the Gathering.
Really?
Oh, I found that Prey info. It's actually on the Duke Nukem version 1.3D CD in the previews folder. There's a Prey folder and it says preyinfo.txt.
So that would have been Tom Hall's Prey. That makes sense then.
Prey's story and character are still in their infancy stages. None of this should be considered final product. Just development info, it says. We want to take the steps, since the game is about being hunted, to making the character a Native American. The character will be a successful business person or politician, striking against the stereotypes. While a few aspects of Native American culture will be brought into it, it will be as part of a fleshing out the character.
Yeah, it's interesting that was in there from day one. I'm curious, like, because I wonder if that was a Hall decision or if that was
right at the bottom it says development contact Tom Hall, creative director.
Okay. I guess I'm curious. I'm going to ask him on Twitter, see if he responds.
There's a story synopsis. Let me read it. It says, you are a successful Native American fighting for part of what were your ancestral lands. When the ruling goes against you, you pick up your Hummer and head out to the wilderness to contemplate your future and hope for guidance. Suddenly there is a blinding flash of light, your skin crawls with electricity, and you black out. You wake to find yourself in a hostile alien environment. Strange creatures pour out of every crevice of the odd alien architecture, firing weapons of incredible might. You must find out how to defeat them, master the alien weapons, explore the foreboding battlefields to uncover their secrets, and discover what part you will take in this violent new world.
Damn.
That sounds more like Quake 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if there was ever like actual like a design document for that for any version of Prey. I mean, I guess there was because there's the intranet, but yeah.
Seemed to, yeah.
I'll link the intranet in voice text because, like I said, it is very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll also link it in the Twitch. So
Awesome.
yeah, this was compiled by Broussard when he handed over everything to Human Head. So it's really weird because there's so much like find replace shit on it, where like instead of parade, there's this dark harvest everywhere.
A Tommy Hawk adventure.
Yeah.
Design document. Yeah, it says design document.
Yep.
The reason
What I
why I
find-
bring up
Go ahead.
sorry, the reason why I brought up Joe Jing is because I am dead certain he created more models than he has shown off yet.
I mean, yeah, probably that's a safe bet. I just wonder if there's like any contact info for him.
I'm trying to reach out to his LinkedIn account
Okay, yeah.
for both this and a private venture of mine. Seeing if he responds.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wanting to see if there was a 2003 to 2006 version of the Alien Trooper.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Because there is one of the Battle Lord, there is one of the Assault Commander, the Enforcer,
Mm-hmm.
but no Assault Trooper.
Yeah, that is kind of a weird what's the word?
It's an inconsistency I'm wanting to explore.
For sure. Rainbow says, as far as I know, Prey 98 stuff only exists in models. Maybe they were used in the Chimera Lab. There's a Chimera Lab in Area 51. The campaign map doesn't work, but there's a version of that campaign map that does sort of work. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, right,
Very
the
interesting.
Chimera Lab. Completely forgot about that. Weird. They had a lot of plans for Area 51 that were just straight up odd.
Yeah, like all those like weird like puzzles and stuff. It seemed like it was gonna be a lot more like almost like a fucking adventure game when it got to that section. It's like, okay, solve these like weird level long puzzles.
I doubt that would have been
But kind of like the dream sequence in the DNF 2011.
Yeah, so, well, probably a little bit more involved in that. I was thinking more like
More than that.
Yeah. What's an example I can think of? Oh, I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but like it almost gave me like I don't know, like Myst vibes, you know, where it's just like these huge puzzles. But yeah, you're right. They're probably just experiments. I doubt they would have shipped with that stuff because people would have been pissed off. It's like, where's the combat?
Shooting aliens too. Do a puzzle.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, this was right after what, Half-Life?
Yeah, that would have actually been fit
everyone thought that was the next big thing, puzzles and FPS.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Oh, puzzles and FPSs are good. It's just a matter of pacing, right?
Yeah, no, it's balance. And they were, you know, in the course of game development, you find a balance and you figure out what works and what doesn't. They were really just throwing stuff at the wall to see what works.
Yeah.
I imagine.
For sure.
Oh no,
Here's
these
a
windows aren't big enough. I
fun
can't
trivia.
figure out what the name of this texture is.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so it's in the penthouse textures. Sorry.
Okay.
I find it very entertaining that Half-Life 2 and DNF both had a cameo era, which is just it's weird that stuff like that just is kind of connected. I feel like Half-Life 2 could have been a DNF if, you know, if it had worse development.
Well, it was in development for 6 years and there was huge changes in design over time.
I mean, you have like
just it was more focused. Oh yeah. It was more focused in design and actually made it, unlike DNF.
Yeah, say what you will about Gabe, but like he knew how to like, you know, he knew when to say this isn't working.
Like the tentacle monster in Nova Prospect, they just cut that right out.
Yeah, because it didn't work like at
It
all.
it looked cool, but like it just wasn't fun. Am I
Shooting
Rondi?
tentacles. Oh, no. Shooting tentacles is never fun. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, exactly. M.I. Rondi asks, will Duke's model change as the company progresses? I mean, the wounds on his body. Do you mean like as the campaign progresses?
Oh yeah, he probably meant campaign. Yeah,
We were
that's a
thinking,
pretty neat idea.
yeah, weren't we like talking openly
Kind of
about?
like Die Hard, where his shirt gets more dirty and then it just rips right off altogether throughout the movie.
Well, like we were, I know that there was a concept at one point of like costume changes in either this build or we might have talked about that openly on stream once or twice, but that's just an idea. That'd be cool to have, especially as we get into like different
In the
environments.
polished stage, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember, I forget who it was. I think it was might have been Spider-Man who was like saying like it would be really cool if we could give Duke his 0-hour gear when he gets to like the desert and stuff.
Right.
Obviously, these are
the French
ideas.
coat and the hat.
Yeah, these are ideas, not implemented or designed at any point.
0-hour actually has a bunch of outfits with the different time periods in the game.
Yeah, I really like that. I you know what? Like this might I'm gonna say something that's gonna get me canceled
It's
here.
the best Duke Nukem game. You can say it.
No, I've not played it. I need to play it. I've had multiple friends tell me.
You know what? You need to play it then.
I know. I had multiple people tell me I need to play it. I know there's a version of 1964, the N64 emulator, that like is hacked so it plays with mouse and keyboard.
Does 1964, isn't that just for like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark?
I think there's a version of it for 0-hour though.
Oh, is there? I don't know.
I want to say a friend of mine told
I
me
mean,
about that.
it's pretty easy to actually configure them just using like Project 64 or Mupen's standard plugins.
Yeah.
Like it
Here's
is
some fun,
surprisingly easy to get working on like a modern control set.
That's pretty cool.
Going back to Prey.
Uh-huh.
Here's some fun trivia for you. Human Head was actually originally contacted to do a Daikatana sequel.
Oh yeah, they were going to Daikatana too, and that's why they got the Unreal Engine.
And one of the things that they thought of for that game was gravity boots.
Really?
Yeah.
However, the game was canceled, but the idea stayed. So when they were contracted to do Prey instead, they decided to implement that idea there.
Star Trek Klingon Honor Guard was an early Unreal game, and it had gravity boots.
I never got past the first level in that game. The level design in that game is rough.
It's weird. I love that game, but in my, I acknowledge that it's a bad design game, but I love it all the same.
I get
one of my guilty pleasures. It's really designed like a classic FPS where you get to the end of the level, it's very non-linear, and then you get to the end and it shows your level stats and you go to the next level type of thing, but I really enjoyed it. It's loaded with bugs though, like absolutely loaded with bugs. Such an unfinished, unpolished game.
Yeah, they rushed the shit out of that game, I think.
I think it came out before Unreal. Like, it was that early.
Yeah, let me double check that. Also, hey, Contra Wolf.
Going
pretty good. Otacon is trying to deal with making maps on Linux.
It's going well though. I mean, we're working on this.
Yeah, it's Linux. Cool.
Yeah,
I didn't even clue in.
Yep.
That reminds me. I told someone the other day. I forget who it was, but I told them that I was working on this game, and they asked if it was going to be available for Mac as well.
Well, so probably not. Like, perhaps, maybe, but even like it's not even really supported on Linux technically right now. It's only supported on Linux through Wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there won't be a native port, but might work through Wine type of thing.
We have been talking about native support. The problem and the hurdle with native support is a lot of the stuff is attached to this particular build of Unreal. So
Mm.
normal Unreal does, like normal old Unreal does have support.
But this isn't normal Unreal.
Right, but
Yeah.
this isn't
No.
normal Unreal. A bunch of stuff has been ad hoc
Far
added by
from
3D
normal.
Realms, and so we
And
are
we're still
picking up from
documenting
there.
what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unreal Plus.
And honestly, like,
you
what
call it that.
does generally question what does like modern Mac development look like? Because like when I look at like Mac game development, all I hear is people saying don't do it because there's just like everything has such a planned obsolescence built around it. Like look at like how many games like the iOS updates, how many games those things killed over the years.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I
Well, the big
personally I
thing that
wouldn't.
iOS updates killed because of that was because they switched from a 32-bit platform to a 64-bit
Yeah.
platform on their phones, and then insisted that everybody follow that trend as well. And that if
Yeah,
you
which is
didn't, you got
bullshit.
left behind.
Yeah.
I
Just
get
like
it.
they did with the
The same
headphone
thing
jack.
happened with Windows as well. A lot of that stuff stopped working.
Yeah. I just find that like I don't know, there's something very upsetting about the way Apple does things with regards to like software development and how like it just they never seem to make a thing designed to last. It's just like no, it's supposed to last until the next update, and then you immediately throw it in the trash.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like as someone who loves old shit, like it's almost like morally wrong to me to do that.
Yeah.
Planned
No, honestly,
obsolescence is
that's also
bullshit.
what slowed
Yeah.
me from getting into them in the longest time. And then I took on my most recent job, and then I had to like support. I had to be the guy to support Mac OS in our environment.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and so in doing that, I've grown an appreciation for the Mac OS, but
Hmm.
yeah, it definitely is. That needs to come down a little bit, but that looks good.
That does look really good, actually.
Aw, these stopped playing. I'll have to fix those. Yeah, one
hey,
of the last things I did was trying to decorate the bar here. So I
Nice.
added all these
was
little lights and
what was the game that other guy was talking about when I first joined? Like
Uh
full of bugs or whatever.
Oh,
oh,
Klingon Honor Guard?
Yeah.
What?
Klingon Honor Guard.
Star Trek Klingon Honor Guard. You play a Klingon.
I'd never even heard of that up until now.
It's
Neither
from
have I.
97. No, it's 98, I think. Right before Unreal came out, I believe.
October
So it's got
14th,
a
1998.
Yeah, it's really unpolished, really buggy, but
Yeah.
it's really faithful to the lore of Star Trek, and there are obviously fans working on it, and I like it, unironically, but
And
it's full of problems.
you do have Goron in that game. And
Oh,
that makes
Yeah,
anything
Gowron
play.
and Tony Todd as Kern.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I myself have been playing Medal of Honor Frontline with a keyboard and mouse after I found the updated mouse injector for the Dolphin emulator.
Oh,
Hmm.
nice. How's
Ooh.
that going?
Well, the box cart tram ride is still broken. That doesn't work.
Oh.
But I think I'm on the last level. I've never actually beaten the game.
I remember that game getting real nasty towards the end, but I remember thinking it was really, really cool.
Yeah, the level I'm on right now, just enemies just swarm out of everywhere, and they got bazookas and everything. But let me tell you
Yeah.
something: the mouse aiming is as smooth as butter.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I should check that out then.
nice.
I was never able to get far in the game due to the clunky aiming, and it just became too much of a burden at one point. But with the mouse aiming, it's like you're playing a modern PC game.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
It is, and it works for Time Splitters 2 and 3. It works for a couple other Medal of Honors. I think a Serious Sam game and Nightfire as well.
Oh shit, I should play Nightfire on keyboard and mouse. I fucking love Nightfire.
Dude,
You
it's
think
like night and day.
you think it supports Agent Under Fire?
No, it doesn't support that, unfortunately.
Fuck.
Yeah,
God
it
damn it.
seems to be like everybody's forgotten about Agent Under Fire for some reason.
It was such a weird game in retrospect, but I kind of love how weird it is.
I never got beyond the first few levels, unfortunately.
It gets pretty cool. There's a sequence where you're listening in a tunnel, and it's just like a roller coaster ride of just gunfire, and it's just really good. There's some
So,
really great moments in that game.
Yeah, there was no computer port, unfortunately.
There was going to be, because it was originally going to be a remake of the World's Not Enough game for PC and PS2, but they looked at like how long it would take to get the game out, and by that point, World's Not Enough had been like out for 2 years, so it didn't make sense. Rainbow says in regards to the bar, yeah, it looks good. Maybe add some texture to the glass, like a surface in front of it. I'm sure if the place was burning up, glass wouldn't just look like that. Also, a couple other people have some comments. Granddad asks, is DNF going to have a similar balance of combat, story sequences, and puzzles to Half-Life 1?
To some degree, we have been trying to incorporate puzzles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But puzzles, I use puzzles with the same air quotes I use hub with. You know what I mean? Like, they're
Right, yeah.
puzzles, but the puzzle is more like it's a Duke puzzle. You know what I mean? It's like a not even say it like that, but it's still like more like a
Instant
retro
gratification.
first-person shooter kind of puzzle
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, I found the key card. The key card brings me here. That
Yeah.
being said, like there are some like I don't know, like there's like I don't know how to word it. Where's my mouse? There we go. There is a particular spot in here that, well, I guess I can show it off. It's still a little work in progress, but...
Alright.
So we're adding a sequence. We showed this off last week. Awesome stuff. Love the wave pool.
Oh, wow.
I mentioned on the last stream, but the audio wasn't working, but those waves remind me so much of Sonic Adventure 1 on Dreamcast.
Yeah, they look a lot like Sonic Adventure 1, actually. That's cool.
This area looks a lot more fleshed out from the last time I saw it.
It's actually
yeah.
not in this
it really
version of the
does.
map. So I'll go...
I also heard that the playable demo had been delayed until the end of December.
That we've never actually given an actual date. The plan always has more or less been the end of December.
Yeah.
Is he mildly updated? He looks different.
So there's two different ones. There's the bartender, and then there's the car dealer. This is
Y'all
the
are gonna
bartender.
animate him, right?
I've never seen
Yes.
these. This is cool.
Yes, they are. Right now, like our animator just this morning was asking me about last things. He just finished animating Jay for us. So now, soon to be other NPCs as well, but at least Jay right now no longer just sits and types. He actually has like hand motions and stuff like that. And then these guys are also getting an actual, because right now they're actually just a static mesh.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on getting them their own skeleton and animations and stuff like that as well.
I love when I have my own skeleton.
Is this an in-house like mod team design, or was this something in the 3DR files?
This was already in 3DR files.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
cool.
Was this from '98? Did we
Most
figure
definitely.
that out? Yeah.
Judging by the poly count and this square barrel coming out of his chest, I would say yes.
Yeah.
90-degree or like 45-degree twisted
Yeah.
cube equal gun.
Yeah.
That goofy 98 aesthetic to it.
Oh,
yeah.
Since you're using the robotenders and dealers, you should use the weird 98 glitchy bar stool chair things. Since those.
Oh, we definitely want to get those in too. Yeah. They actually are in the game in some places, but they're just a static. Like they don't pop out of the ground; they're just static.
Oh, I didn't know they were actually in the game. I never saw them anywhere.
Are the robotenders going to be voiced?
Not for the first slice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a polish and adding thing because
Yeah.
he's not like very important.
Right.
Yeah, and just so people know, the stuff in the first slice, there's still going to be some stuff that is definitely like placeholdery and rough,
Unfinished,
but
yeah.
So like everything will change over time. Everything is subject to change over time, but we're really excited to see for everyone to see what we got already. I think they were going to be really fucking blown away. Mi Rondi asks about infighting amongst monsters.
Yeah, it's a thing.
All right,
Isn't
cool.
that already in the game?
Yep.
I thought there was already. Yeah. That's already in the game.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if there's not a whole entire internet, I'm gonna boycott.
You don't got that GTA 4 internet in there?
Where is
know-
my EasyNet?
Or no,
Where's my JukeNet?
Ace Combat 3 internet.
A child support Wi-Fi.
And also,
My Duke Nukem needs parental controls.
Yeah, Granddad. It's good to look at it like not a rough draft, but like look at it as just like the next step in like from like Bikini Atoll. You know, like this is going to be another great foundation for us to build more content on and see what people like look at our stuff and the feedback they have and allow us to like kind of like, oh, that like we need to address this and that and like that like that kind of idea.
Yeah, so what it comes down to is that like I don't know, we've been working on this since May, and the team has like ebbed and flowed a whole bunch, and we've all been through a whole lot, and like we've been
A lot of
chatting
growing
with you
pains.
guys for chatting with you guys for a really long time too, and
Oh, yeah.
like we've if it was back in the really early days of the project, there were people who wanted us to like release stuff as we finished it, kind of, and stuff like that. And so, kind of as a way to not necessarily meet in the middle, but like I don't know, give the community back something.
Yeah,
We
let them see
decided
what we're
Mhm.
working on.
Yep, not quite how I wanted it.
And also, it'll allow us to recruit more people.
Right.
by the way, this is a bit of a late response to 7 Granddad, but once you play Time Splitters 2 and 3 and Nightfire with a keyboard and mouse, I can guarantee you'll never go back. And
I got you.
the thing is, there was also I recently found out about some guy managed to unlock the entirety of Time Splitters 2 on Homefront: The Revolution, and he was
Yep.
working on trying
Oh,
to get
yeah.
it fixed up, but it's still not there. Like half the stuff in the options menu alone still doesn't work. So I'd recommend using the Dolphin emulator over even that.
Yeah.
We have
I
this
wonder-
cool new broadcast that somebody made.
Oh, hell
Mm.
yeah.
So now
That's
on a
sick.
bunch of the TVs, you'll come across that. Just as a
That's
Man, I
so
like that
sick.
effect on the screen. Wow.
That is cool.
Looks like a real CRT.
Mhm.
I'm imagining those are big CRTs built right into the walls
Oh,
because
yeah.
it looks like a curved surface. And this is the
The world of
early
Duke has
aughts.
no need for LCDs.
They have flying cars, but LCDs were not there yet.
Exactly.
No.
It's like
No.
Fallout. It's like no one invented the transistor yet.
Yeah.
We're just pushing
Well,
the vacuum
transistors
tube.
transistors exist in Fallout. They just weren't popular and they didn't
They
get
weren't-
enough market share. There's
The bullet
if-
holes are broken on that mirror because I just have it set up as like a quick slap together mirror. If it was like yeah, to further do that, what I'd have to do is you have to like make it a mover and like do this other stuff. It most likely will end up that way. I just was trying to stick a mirror in that spot.
Yeah, for sure.
The transistor in Fallout wasn't invented until 2067.
Yeah, like I thought like the canon was that like the transistor was invented like a year before the Great War or something.
Contrast that with our universe, where the transistor was invented in 1947, and
Yeah.
the groundwork was laid out sometime in the mid 19th century, I think.
Yeah.
It randomly came back,
War never changes.
randomly came back to life.
more
Every
changes
time I
all
hear
the
that
time.
line, I think of Duty Calls, that mock demo
Oh,
game.
God,
Duty
yeah.
calls.
Or Bulletstorm. War
God.
never changes. Does it? Yes. No? I love that little stupid game.
It's
Rank
such
up.
a good bit. Oh, hey, Luis.
Yep. Rank up. Sergeant of the Master
Rank-
Sergeants
yes.
personal
Yes.
training sergeants to the max.
You shoot, it just says boring.
Now
Of a
contrast
bloody screen, so real.
now contrast that with Metal Gear Solid 4, where war has changed. But I think that goes back to the old saying: the more things change, the more they stay the
More
same.
they stay the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
Also,
is what I
not
was going to
everything
show
from
you
Metal Gear
guys.
Solid.
Everything
Not
stays.
everything from Metal Gear Solid should be taken seriously because that's the same game where you have one guy wandering around on the battlefield with a sort of pair of
No.
underwears.
I don't know what you're talking about. Metal Gear Solid is real life.
That's true.
I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game in my whole entire life.
Neither have I.
You should fix
Neither have I.
that.
So this is a little
You know what?
unfinished. It still needs the actual
Oh,
steam
cool.
to be coming out of the back of here. But basically, this is a little room that controls the wave pool.
Ooh.
So this was another. So this entire area was built by one of our level designers named Folsey, and it's kind of been touched up by a number of us now. But the idea was always to make it a wave pool, and so he's done that. And to keep the attention to detail, he's made like I said, this little room back here that would realistically, function this wave pool, because basically you've got these valves here that pull air and push air through these registers that then push it through the pool to create the waves.
Yeah.
If you don't run at the right time, there's actually wind that blows back from these little pipes that'll push you off the platform. And so at the
Interesting.
end of this will be where you get the key card to continue forward on in the level.
Ah,
Okay.
that's what I was wondering about this area. Like, it's very pretty, but does it have a purpose? So
Yep.
glad to hear that it does.
We're working on that. Yeah, right now you can still get that in this area, the key card. It's just back here.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
Rondi asks, will Duke use the ammo on his chest? It feels like he wears them for beauty. Probably not.
Is there there? When I played that part with the toys, there was a wall that looked like it was actually a hidden door. Is that still a thing, or is that was that ever a thing? Or
you mean like this one right here?
Yes.
Yes,
all the textures are changed now, but
yep.
Okay. I couldn't figure out how to open it. I guess don't give it away now. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Oh, Otacon, you remember the concerns I raised with that jumping puzzle with all those laser trip bombs?
In buffet?
In the buffet, yeah.
Yeah, where you have to do that crazy jumping exercise. Has that been remedied at all?
We have not tweaked that just yet.
Okay.
Still something we've talked about, but we just.
Oh, damn it.
So what we've been doing is we've been trying to get all of these levels to the point where we're not adding anything else to them. We're not regularly, you know what I mean? And then the next so I guess I can say this. Yesterday was the final day for any major changes to any maps. So
We
for
are
the next
content locked.
for the next 3 to 4 weeks, we are just going to be doing nothing but combat placement, sound placement, and getting bugs fixed and ironed out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
do you mind if I repeat what I said when I first brought that up, just to all the people watching?
Sure.
Okay, so the whole thing about the buffet with all those laser trip bombs where you have to jump through, I kind of wanted that. Ideally, I would love to have the thing taken out and just have a bunch of bad guys placed there, because I feel as though it brings the entire level to a full stop. And my whole philosophy with first-person shooter level design is keep the level moving no matter what. And there were trip bombs in Duke 3D, but they were only really used as a surprise attack or like an annoyance, not a full-on showstopper like they were here. So I figured someone had actually thrown out the suggestion maybe we could like take half of them out and place them elsewhere in the level. I'd be okay with that too. It's just I feel like something like that maybe should be wired only to where you could find like a really good secret, because I'm not a fan of jumping segments in first-person shooters at all, unless they lead to like a secret or an area where you're ideally not supposed to be.
I can kind of see where you're coming from, where pacing wise, like this whole first area of the game is pretty upbeat and fast, and then that just kind of stops right there. Half-Life 1 had a room like that, but it was already on a downplayed, everything, like the pacing slowed down and you were starting to take your time, and like it was part of that flow.
Yeah, that
Well,
was my
Fate
least,
kind of, yeah.
that was my least favorite part of Half-Life when I encountered
Yeah,
that.
well, I can
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah,
But at
so-
least in Half-Life, it made sense with the pacing.
oh, I didn't drop, did I?
It's a fight in the actual like serving area. Then it kind of calms down for a bit because you're going through, you're getting the key card, going past the shark, getting to the laser trip mine room, and it does give you kind of a chance to breathe. And yeah, maybe we could spice up a little bit with like maybe some snatchers or something. That might be fun. But
You could just put a ladder right at the beginning to skip the whole thing and make it a joke. I'm not
Yeah,
doing that.
Yeah,
That would work too. I mean,
that bit is ass though. I hate that.
that
part.
yeah.
that sounds like it would fall perfectly in line with Duke.
It
I
does.
don't know. I can kind of go both ways on it, but
I could go, like, so if you could leave it there and people could do it if they want, or there's a ladder right here and you can just, I don't know.
if we hide the ladder,
Ideas.
that might be good.
Ideas. Yeah, if you like, I don't know. Yeah.
It could
And
be a thing.
make finding the ladder a puzzle. I don't know.
It
Yeah.
could be
A
a
quick
thing
puzzle.
like walking through the dark hotel level with the guy instead of just killing him and taking his fleshlight. You get an upgrade out of it.
Right.
So if you actually
There's
do the thing and don't just skip it, then you'll get something out of it.
Hang on.
There's
that's-
also
I need to
another
interrupt for a
idea.
moment. So Tom Hall just got back to me. The original version of Prey did not have a Native American protagonist. Jim
Oh.
Dosey came up with the notion, and George liked it.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay. Sorry, continue. I wanted to share that.
Also, sorry, just
Oh.
really quick. A couple people were asking about the Duke kick right now. So, how do I? So my local build, my build, currently, we were hot fixing the easy vend lines. I had a mixed version of the source files in my build when I rebuilt the easy vend lines. Because I actually did I don't. I guess we haven't shown this. I guess I can show off the new easy vend lines. So when I incorporated those easy vend lines, the source was a mixed bag. Our actual full build of the game doesn't have Duke's kick like that. Duke's kick is like that is also because locally I am working on building a script that switches where Duke's foot is, so it actually kicks on the correct foot. And then the only reason it hasn't been fully implemented yet is because I want to make it so the quick kick still is with the left foot. So that's why
Makes sense.
Duke's foot is a little funky.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me.
But here's the easy vend. This is just fun. So.
I have the stream muted, so I can't hear at the moment.
Yeah, we actually turned it up too.
Yeah.
Easy Vend invites you to try the ham sandwich from Sandwich Co. This delicious and
And that
nutritious
is,
snack excellent
Frame
for
Raider.
adults and children alike. For the finest and authentic Mexican ingredients, try the El Duce burrito. There's nothing wrong with El Duce. Try the new Rage sports drink from Easy Vend. Unlike the leading brand,
We love
Rage
Frame
is
Raider's
all
voice.
natural and doesn't taste
I
like
do
shit.
think we can make it a little bit more digital sounding, like as it's coming from a computer, but as the actual lines themselves are great.
I don't know, Bit Crusher maybe?
Yeah, maybe like a
Maybe.
little bit crushed.
The original
Yeah.
ones weren't, is my only thing.
Yeah.
But I feel ya.
Yeah.
Well, it's at least sounding like it comes from a smaller speaker. We can do some quick EQ on that. It doesn't
For
need
sure.
to be bit
for
crushed.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, those are great lines.
Yeah. He did a fantastic job on that.
Yeah, he really did. He has a good voice for that. He should voice
Yes.
all vending machines in every video game.
Doesn't taste like shit.
Going back to what we were talking about with the trip mines things, so I'm someone who actually really likes it when a game, like, I'll use Doom Eternal for an example. When I got to the end of Doom Eternal, I was just so exhausted because it's just such a constant, like, you're just constantly shooting and fighting in that game, right? Like, yes, there's some platforming here and there, and there's like a story sequence here and there, but primarily you're just fighting, and it does get kind of exhausting after a while. And I think having a sequence where, like, giving the player some time to breathe and maybe using that moment to, built the atmosphere a little bit, that would be cool. I don't know if Buffet does need that kind of tweaking, but I do see where you're coming from, though, Contra.
I do have an idea about that.
That's a high quality subtitle right there.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, keyboard.
Why not instead of a ladder? Allow him to be blown up by Duke.
What was that?
Instead of a ladder, why not allow it to be exploded using, explosives?
So take off the force field thing.
Yeah.
Is that Randy or George? That's George.
I think that's George.
Rest in peace.
I would be okay with that. Like if we allowed the player to like just skip it if they have explosives. Like maybe not all of them, but like if we like eliminate quite a few or something. Like
So
Because for me,
what the loose plan is for the level, it hasn't currently been implemented, but I think the happy medium that we had found is that we are going to so in buffet or in casino right now, there is a laser trip mine puzzle that you can disable by using a touch plate. And I think we're going to probably do the same kind of thing, where we're going to still do what we said originally, where we're going to scale it based off of its difficulty. And then either way, you're going to be able to disable some of them by using by finding that plate and solving that puzzle.
That sounds good, actually.
Too.
Yeah.
You know, about the whole thing of having like some downtime after an action sequence. I mean, like a big empty room could also equal some downtime, but keep the tension going because you're blasting through all the bad guys, and then all of a sudden there's a big empty room, and you're like, "Oh shit, it's way too quiet. What's gonna happen?"
Oh yeah, for sure. When you get like the boss fountain.
Are you doing the Easter egg? Are you gonna do the Easter egg thing where you get up there?
Shit. Yeah, making sure it works though.
Oh wow, I never actually went up there, huh?
Yeah, there's a secret.
Dang.
I don't know. It's a really weird Easter egg. Maybe he's supposed to be alive or something, but he says the Easter of the Duke look good or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's just our secret line in general, right?
Yeah, it's a generic line.
Yeah.
Okay, so all those drawers are open.
So a couple questions in the chat. Ronnie says, what about EDF soldiers as partners? That's probably not going to be in Chapter 1.
It's not going to be, it's not going to be in Chapter 1. We are kind of hoping for something like that in Chapter 2, though.
Yeah. That is the plan. We have...
How far does First Slice go again?
First Slice is, end of Chapter 1. Yeah. It goes until the end of Buffet. We might include Las Vegas Boulevard as kind of like just exploration kind of deal.
Like, is that when you get the motorbike and take off on the highway? I can't remember.
Well, right when you come out of the Lady Killer.
Yeah, it's up until you get out of the Lady. That's what.
Okay.
That's what.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rainbow asks, "What's the progress on the skeletal meshes for the view models?"
Like getting them to work in the editor.
Yeah.
It's still being looked at. We haven't gotten that resolved yet, unfortunately. You can still look at it. You can technically animate them with the arrow keys, but like the little left and right. But you can't actually click play anymore. So.
Yeah. Okay.
As far as cutscenes go, we do have some plans for some cutscenes. Currently, there's a issue in DirectX that we're trying to work through in order to actually be able to fully realize that. So it'll be interesting to see if it's ready before the demo comes out. But
when you say cutscenes, you mean like going outside of Duke's perspective?
Yeah, going outside of Duke's perspective, or just like yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Immediately, what comes to mind is that we actually have a cutscene for the very beginning of the game that we have done.
Oh,
it's technically in the game. It's in your guys' build even, but you just can't access it unless you know where to go in the level.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And the only reason it's not set up right now is because basically how it works is you need a trigger portal and then something to act as the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And only in OpenGL does that camera work.
Okay.
Which is interesting because
Interesting.
OpenGL we made.
Yeah,
So,
that is interesting. Okay.
yeah. So trigger portals work because trigger portals are also how the overlay effect happens on Hollywood Holocaust.
Oh, huh.
But in order to have the camera as well, yeah, that has to get fixed.
Isn't there some evidence of a cutscene in the El Matador thing? Like, there are triggers you can push that'll activate cameras, and there's a EDF guy on a motorcycle,
Yep.
and there's evidence of a cutscene. So I think
That's
they planned cutscenes.
that's fascinating because like George made a huge deal like no cutscenes from like 2001. Interesting. Okay.
Like
Yeah, if
Half-Life's
you-
approach.
My guess is they
Yeah.
auto went in game like that. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
look
no,
at El
rendered?
Matador, which show all on, there's a bunch of like random things of AI nodes and things. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah. Liquid was
What-
talking about how great the new ambience is. Sorry, you were saying?
I just wanted to know, when do any of the main villains show up in the game?
Honestly,
Like
the main
Orphan?
villain, I think,
Like President Armstrong, Viscerax, folks like that.
yeah, I don't think the main, like, any of the villains really show up until, like, technically the end of chapter 2, but you don't actually fight one of the main villains, you just fight a boss. That's like the first boss.
What, the wrestling, the boxing ring
Mhm.
guy? Yeah, that's in concept art.
Probably Stratosphere.
Okay.
That's where you
Interesting.
see
Okay.
Another thing, who exactly is Viscerax? I've never heard of him before.
He's an original character made by the team. As far as who he is, though, I'm not gonna really. I don't really want to get into that. He's a fleshed out character.
Viscerax.
He has purpose.
Okay.
He's been around for a while in our development. So he's been around at least as long as I have. Not that I have anything to do with him, but yeah. So
Oh, so he wasn't made by 3D Realms.
no, he is an original character. I
Huh,
believe
like
he is
that.
still based off of some concept art we have of a character without a name.
I like that.
Viscerax is a great name.
I wonder where the name came from.
Sounds familiar.
Gersoni says, "Hey guys, any progress with fixing the weapons and the extra weapons?"
Like
Yeah.
the-
Actually, once I have to relaunch my editor because I can't place anything. The 1.5 update that should come out hopefully here in the next hopefully within this week. Once the 1.5 update comes out, a lot of the guns will be fixed as well. We're utilizing some parts of the Future Time mod pack for the weapon fixes, with permission, of course.
Very cool.
We're also working on some new some changes to the brushes, the brush set, and stuff like that, along with some new multiplayer maps and some other things to come with 1.5. So that's the
Nice.
reason 1.5 has been taking so long, is because there's a lot that's going into it, because we're trying to make sure it's the last thing we give out really before
First slice.
the first slice.
Yeah.
Oh, and Amy Rondi, I don't think Negaduke was planned by this point in development.
Negaduke is
later.
definitely going to be a character within the.
He is?
Yeah.
I thought
And-
your guys' limit was like 2003.
I mean the character renders we have of Negaduke, like the one where he's got like the classic 90s douchebag goatee and stuff like that, are definitely from this build of the game.
Oh, huh. I
Like
always thought he was
judging
later
based
in
off of how the model, like the quality of the model and stuff like that.
I always thought it came later in development.
In fact, there's also concept art from like the very early on days of
Yeah, there is.
Negative.
Where he looks like really weird. He has like long hair and stuff.
Yeah, punk rock Negaduke.
You should have a 1911 because that'd be funny.
That
Actually,
would be kind
pretty
of funny.
cool. Yeah.
I also have been looking over the notes about all this, and I'm fairly certain I finally know where the build came from.
Oh yeah.
Me.
Gearbox.
You're
Gearbox.
welcome.
You think it was Gearbox?
Yes.
What is your case for that?
I know this is probably just more theory crafting, but if you look at the original 2001 trailer,
Mm-hmm.
the blonde hair lady killer employee
Oh man.
is actually in a different place entirely.
I mean, it comes after the E3 trailer, plus
Yeah.
by like a little while, so they probably just moved her. Also, there's E3 versions of each of the levels where she's in the right spot. So,
Mm-hmm.
also,
But there
Gearbox
is
wasn't involved by this point of development, if that's what you're implying.
year 2000 actually showed her where she is now, though. But that was shown off by Gearbox.
Okay,
You mean are talking about when they put out like those videos in the unlockables?
Yes, videos and screenshots. She's actually in a different location in those where she is now.
How would they change
Right.
that though?
that would be.
Like that's such an oddly specific thing to do.
He
And for
back
what
to life.
purpose?
There are
Right.
E3 versions of the levels, so
Yeah.
it's possible that it's just the E3 version of the level.
As I said, this is just theory crafting. But I found it just weird how she's in the E3 trailer in a completely different spot.
Well,
And yet the only first verified
like-
spot where she is now came from Gearbox.
Yeah, but again, there's different
Yeah.
versions of every level.
Yeah,
for
so
Well,
trailer.
they
could
made
just be
specific
me.
versions of levels for the E3 trailers.
yeah.
Like every
It's-
level that's in the trailer has an E3 version that is slightly different in some way
Yeah,
to better
right.
fit E3.
And honestly, it's not uncommon whatsoever. We
that's
refer to them nowadays as bullshots. You know what I mean, to some degree. And I'll be
Okay.
honest with you, not even we're immune to them. Like some of the footage we've shown off, you have guns before you're actually able to get them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's a shot.
It's
There's
not
a shot of
terribly uncommon.
there's a Duke Nukem 3D screenshot with the Cycloid Emperor in the first level of Episode 2. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That stuff's super common.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just how you sell games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
like-
1999 had that screenshot of the EDF guy with the fucking like way too detailed tentacles for 1999. It's just
way more detailed than the tentacles that are even in this version of the game.
Mhm.
Which is a shame because they look so cool, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
it'd be
really
cool.
dig
They were probably never planned. I doubt they were even like kept in the game after they made that screenshot. Having massive meshes lying around in your game files isn't exactly something you want happening, even in development.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they did that and then got rid of them.
Yeah, for sure. Or just maybe even like just chopped them
Yeah,
in.
they could just be like
Yeah.
drawn on.
Yeah.
This goes further than just Tuts, though.
I mean, with all due respect,
Yeah.
they're the ones who have the game right now. So
Yeah.
like the chance that
Yeah.
it did come from somebody who's there, I mean, it is fair, but like
Also, I've been told that like these builds, you have to go through a lot of shit to access these builds at Gearbox. Like, there's a lot of paperwork you have to sign. There's a lot of people you have to talk to.
really,
You have to have a fucking paper trail to look at these builds. That's what I've been told by people who would know. So if it did
is that
come from
because of the
Gearbox-
leak or?
No, that was beforehand. That was to
Oh,
prevent
okay.
leaks. That's my understanding. So
Well, it didn't work.
yeah, exactly.
it
Yeah.
was,
So,
like,
They
that was
legitimately
our
have them
number
locked up
4
in a
over
fucking
the
vault.
Get Access.
yeah,
Duke
they
Nukem
literally,
Forever.
Pretty crazy.
yeah, they have it locked up in a database in fucking Plano somewhere. But
There's
yeah, if it did,
also more than just Gearbox that has these builds.
That's
Yeah, but
true.
you were saying that Gearbox was the one who leaked them, so we were
yeah,
riffing off of
Yeah,
that.
what I'm saying is that even though my hunch is Gearbox, because no matter how much paperwork you sign, people can still be people.
Sure.
of course.
I'm
The,
just
I won't just
specifically,
have
sorry, I'm just specifically wondering why it's this version, like not like an earlier version or like a later version with more content, or like the one exactly from the E3 thing. It's
Maybe this
this
one's
kind of
back.
middle build, almost.
I think I can actually answer that.
I don't know. Maybe it was
Okay.
laying around somewhere.
I
It would have been nice to
personally
get
think
2002.
Oh, well, yeah, but I imagine, like, the almost complete version of the game is much harder to access than the, like,
Hang,
sorta finished version of the game.
okay. Hang on, keyboard. You're saying? Sorry.
I'm a professional. Don't try this at school.
this could be the version, the only version that they managed to get access to.
Oh yeah, of course. Like that's probably the most likely thing. Is this is
Because
like this is what they had? I mean, we know that this is the build that. Well, do we know for a fact this is the build that Schreiber streamed back in the day, back in like 2014 or whatever?
I mean,
Yeah, we're pretty sure.
comparing the two, it's a very good assumption.
Yeah. And like so I had a friend of mine who was in the industry say like, "Oh, I'm glad to see that build finally come out," like implying that this build had been floating around for a while in that scene, in that retro FPS like development scene. So I'm not like I have no idea where this could come from. It could have came from Randy himself, for all we know. But like, I don't think. I mean, unless you want to take the approach of, hey, isn't it convenient that this leaked just like the same week that Variety put out that story, or not Variety, Hollywood Reporter put out that story about the Duke Nukem movie that's in production. Like
Maybe
you could
someone
definitely
was,
look at it that way, and that's definitely a viable like way of looking at things. I wouldn't blame you at all. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was any intentionality to this build on the part of Gearbox.
maybe someone was like, "Oh, there's a Duke Nukem movie coming out. Oh, right, I have that build
Yeah.
of the game."
No,
That's super
exactly.
hard."
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it was a one individual person.
I mean,
I
it
don't.
Well, it was a
I
group.
mean,
It
there are
was
individual people who have older versions of the game. Doesn't
yeah.
Terminex and Duke 4 have 97? Like,
Terminex
I think
has
they had
97,
everything at one point.
oh, really? Well, see, like,
and
there
then
are
Gearbox
individual
forced them to turn it
people.
over.
There are
'Cause,
individual people that have these builds. It could have just been one of those individual people.
Right.
We talked
what
about
I
Fred
keep
having
coming
one.
back to is when the leaker released it and talking about the delay delay joke, they kept using we.
Well, yeah, it was a group. It's obviously a group
Yeah.
thing. They did a lot of stuff to make sure the game ran well.
The Duke Nukem wiki owner apparently has Duke Nukem endangered species. Really? Holy shit. Huh.
Yeah, he does. It's mentioned in the thing. He's on a non-disclosure agreement though. He can't do anything with it.
For fuck's sakes. Fucking NDAs.
NDAs are ass.
I swear,
Hey.
I saw a post from Scott Miller on the Duke page. Somebody said, "I wish Endangered Species came out. It would have been like Far Cry with Turok." And then Scott Miller said, "No, it would have been terrible. That's why we canned it."
Vivisector was pretty okay.
That's what it turned
wasn't
into,
that
right?
towards, like, the end of the game though? Speaking of Vivisector, I watched the Civi video and he mentions the fact that you get like slight HP off of kills, and that's obviously a carryover from Endangered Species.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
definitely
yeah,
like an ego thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm not sure Endangered Species would have been good. I mean, they canceled it for a reason.
Yeah, usually things are canceled for a reason. Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just, I mean, there's certain things that are canceled because legal reasons, but I'm pretty sure Endangered Species was just like someone was like, "Oh, this is kind of ass, isn't it?"
Uh-huh.
And they canceled it. And probably same thing with E-Day.
They canceled D-Day because development was too slow.
Who was behind? Was that End Space on D-Day?
I think it was. Yeah, it was End Space and Rockstar. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
Rockstar was like a publisher.
Yeah, because Rockstar was a publisher before GTA 3. That's such a weird thing to forget. But yeah.
10 out of 10 for Smuggler's Run.
D-Day looks like ass, though.
What was that?
Everything like every screenshot of D-Day and things kind of looks like something I would not spend any money on.
It looks very weird in a way that looks kind of like janky fun because
yeah, I mean, it looks like janky fun, but at the time, janky fun wasn't like a genre. It was just
exactly
like, oh, this is annoying.
Yeah, I don't want to pay $70 for this.
Yeah, I mean, I love the game The Long Drive, which is janky fun, right?
Mhm.
But I bought it for $10 because it's janky fun. If I'm buying a AAA title and I'm buying it and it's like, oh, this game is almost unplayable and looks really weird, then I'm not gonna like it, and it's not gonna make a whole lot of money.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's just something that they went like, guys, what the hell are you doing? And then they canceled it.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, who wants Duke Nukem shooting up a bunch of animals? I know they're mutated animals, but like, unless you're playing a hunting game.
So
no
wasn't
one-
Wasn't it supposed to be a hunting game?
Yeah,
it was.
wasn't
Yeah,
that-
it was on the Carnivores people.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought it was like a FPS thing, or like you just.
No, it was like a take and a parody on the hunting games that were huge at the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't have let them just release like a standard FPS for Duke. That's why I don't think any of the spin-offs were.
Yeah, third person instead of first and all that.
I have actually
Also-
never played any of the third-person Duke games. I need to do that at some time.
Time to Kill is a lot of fun. I like Time to Kill.
You played Time to Kill, but you haven't played 0 Hour.
Listen,
0 Hour is better than
okay.
Time to Kill.
I had a PS1 growing up. I didn't have an N64.
Oh,
My
you poor
parents-
soul.
My parents got me, no joke, my parents got me for Christmas of 2000 to prevent me from asking for a PS2. They got me Time to Kill. They got me Tomorrow Never Dies, The World's Not Enough, the PS1 Bond games, which, Jesus, what did I do to deserve that? And they also got me another game, which is like, I forget now. But yeah, I played mostly Time to Kill. Now, I mean, I guess maybe when you compare Time to Kill to those other games, Time to Kill looks like the greatest game ever made. But I recently replayed the first level, Time to Kill, and it's still pretty fun.
I want to get Time to Kill. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
wanna-
understandable.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's definitely like Tomb Raider, like tank controls, but like it plays better than you'd think.
I mean, I'm a known defender of the Nintendo 64 controller, so I guess I can't complain about
Me
that
too.
control.
Oh no.
Me too.
I've
two.
held several N64 controllers, but I've never played a game with it, so I have no idea if it's good or not.
So like,
If you find like a controller with a nice quality stick, I'm telling you, it's great.
Yeah,
I
I
have-
love it.
Yeah, I have bad memories of N64 controller because I feel like, as much as I understand how important the analog stick was to like video games, like that was the moment where like, so I have like problems with coordination, right? Like, and analog sticks are kind of an issue for me. And that was the moment where like console games started becoming like difficult for me to control. So like, yeah, the N64 controller represents not a great time for me because I remember I went over with to my friend's house after class. Like there was like 6 of us. We all went to go play 007, and they had to like stop and like tell me like, "Here's how you move forward." No, you're doing it wrong. Like constantly, and it was just like so embarrassing.
Sounds like trying to
Yeah.
explain Minecraft to my 50-year-old mother.
Yeah, honestly.
She does not get it at all.
Yeah, except that like we were all like 8 years old, and I was just like, I don't understand. I point the stick
Well,
up,
that's-
and he looks down.
Oh, you're not an invert Y person? Oh,
Fuck no.
I am an
Oh,
invert Y
man.
person, but only
Who's
for the
team
N64
invert Y? And this in the chat on the stream, everyone sign off. Who's team invert Y?
Only for Nintendo 64.
No.
No,
gotta make
man,
that-
everything.
Only for
Mouse,
flight sims.
joysticks, everything.
Only for flight sims.
No.
Invert Y. So you push up on the mouse or a joystick, you actually look down, and you pull back, you look up.
I'm not playing a flight sim.
Only
No.
You and Vinny Caravella from fucking Nextlander.
I cannot play uninverted Y in any first-person game. I can't do it.
Oh, wow.
Because for me, it's like I'm controlling... when I'm playing a first-person game, I'm not controlling the eyes. I'm controlling the back of the head. That's the way I envision it. That's the way my brain is wired to interact with it.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, if you played mouse back in the day, that was fairly different than how we do it now. So
for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Like there was a point where invert Y was normal, and then it just switched. And I'm not sure when that happened. It's probably mid 2000s, maybe early 2000s. But
I'd say
invert Y was the default.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The turn of the century is probably when that happened, because the PS1 had a lot of forced invert games.
Yeah. I actually read an article about this recently, a few weeks ago, and it talked about how people who play with invert Y, it's like a whole psychology of how you're embodying the character. So people who invert Y more often than not look at it as controlling something rather than taking on a persona. Mm-hmm. And I really do think that way when I'm playing a game. Like I'm just using and this might also work into why certain people can get motion sickness from playing first-person games, because it's like they're considering it as part of their own vision rather than controlling something. If I think about it that I'm controlling something, like I want to say tank, but it's not tank controls, obviously. But and I use invert Y, so like I'm controlling the back of the head type of thing. I can get through it really easy and really quick. I can but whereas VR, I do get seasick. Like I get motion sickness playing VR, and obviously that's a way more embodying a persona than, controlling an avatar type of thing. So there's a whole interesting psychology to it. It's really interesting to read.
Interesting. Yeah, I can totally see that, especially with your point about motion sickness being like more prevalent when like your brain is trying to like think in one way, but like your hands are doing a different thing. Like, yeah, I can see how that would get like really disorienting to the point of like discomfort. Thankfully, Dune Forever allows you to have the option to do either one.
Like every game should.
Absolutely. Games that don't have the option those are the real criminals of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone was asking, do we have a planned Holoduke?
No, not right now.
Yeah, not this time.
Holoduke is in the game, but it's literally nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't function properly or anything like that.
It doesn't have any coding, I don't think.
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked at the UC. I can't speak on that, but
it's a weapon. You equip it. It has a chainsaw icon. That is all.
That's an interesting point. Amirondi in the Twitch chat says, infuriated me that in console games about Duke, he always travels in time. I wonder if that was contract-based, like they weren't allowed to do something in Duke some time period.
If they wanted to.
That's
a good point.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good guess.
I think it's because that was also just the style at the time. Because like there were so many games coming out about like time traveling, especially like Chasm, Daikatana. Like there was so much of that.
Daikatana is time traveling. I've never played Daikatana.
Oh,
that's what the game's entirely about.
Wow. I had no idea.
Hexen 2 was a little bit of it. Like it was just in the
air,
I think. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think even
these are all games I haven't played.
Time travel. Duke Nukem 3D also had time travel.
Duke Nukem 1 did. Duke Nukem 1 did.
Oh yeah, you're right. Isn't that one level in episode 4 where it shows the time machine from the movie The Time Machine?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And
travel maybe.
Duke 1, you time travel to the moon and then you time travel to the future. I don't know how you time travel to the moon.
Magic.
That's how it's described. Like Duke time travels to the moon.
Does it? I don't think it does. I just recently went through that game and he just followed him to the moon. I think there's a whole episode called Trapped in the Future, and you have to chase him into the future to. That's the 3rd episode, I think. But then you come back after. But I don't think. It says you time travel to the moon.
Admittedly, this is like secondhand knowledge. I haven't really gotten far through one.
It uses the way it does it though is it uses the same transporter machine that's in almost every level of the game to get to the future, and it just has a sign that says time machine next to it. So that probably might have been what made you think that. But.
Reuse assets. Fair.
I have mine with the gamepad. Whenever I have to work on my project with a mouse, I have to. I wear a glove, fingerless. Due to my hand being my right hand almost being destroyed.
I remember you mentioned that before. Yeah.
It's not physically. Outwardly, it doesn't look like it, but internally, it's fried. So I play with a controller only because it hurts less.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, what's a game y'all play with a gamepad that most people play with a keyboard and mouse, or vice versa?
That's a good one.
I played
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, I play that with a mouse and keyboard.
Really?
I play that with a gamepad. Third-person games, I generally play with a gamepad.
I played RE 1, 2, and 3 on keyboard only on the PC versions when they came out.
No.
I got through most of Mario 64 using a keyboard.
I used to play Titanfall 2 with a gamepad, Xbox One controller. I don't know why.
To be fair, Xbox got banging controllers.
Honestly, I enjoy playing a lot of first-person shooters with my controller.
Yeah, I can't do it. I need the free movement of the mouse.
I've gotten a lot better at it over the years, but yeah, I'm still like just have horrific accuracy with a stick versus with a mouse.
I don't know if
it's not
just right, like the sensitivity of the look and the movement. It becomes like a really silky smooth experience. I think even more smooth than the mouse and keyboard. You just have to get it right.
Yeah,
like I straight up don't believe that. I'm sorry. You can't have the same accuracy as with a mouse. I don't believe it.
Not like accuracy. I'm just saying like general game feel. Like it feels smoother to play, even though.
Oh yeah, well okay, but my thing is I just feel so restricted. Like I can't turn as fast as I want to, and if I turn up the sensitivity, then I'm going too fast and I can't be precise. So
yeah,
it's just not for me. But
no,
cool.
For sure. Rainbow says, in higher resolutions like 1920 by 1080, I feel like the icons are far too big. Can the size of icons in that resolution mode be changed to maybe similar to the size of icons in 1024 by 720? Are you talking about like UI icons or like Unreal Ed icons?
They are way too big in like the game. Like if you increase they scale weirdly.
Yeah.
I was going to say that almost looks like a scaling problem.
Okay, so the SOS icons. Okay.
Oh, it's like the actual HUD?
Yeah, the Shades OS icons and stuff.
Yeah, they're
fine.
Odd.
Yeah, there might just be a scaling issue, like someone said. Like that might be, well, I'm not going to say an easy fix, but that'll definitely be like a fix that is hopefully reasonably like straightforward.
Will there be a 4x3 mode for this game?
You can already play it in 4x3.
Yep.
Yeah, like default is 4x3.
Yeah, just set your resolution to a 4x3 resolution.
I meant final game you guys are making. Didn't know if there was anything going to be modified about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just set your resolution to 4x3. I don't know what you're asking.
I was there was changes on that front.
No, we won't change that. No.
No, we wouldn't pull that out. I would like to see this game totally playable on era-appropriate hardware, just for the enthusiasts.
It does currently. We do have an XP build we've been building.
Does it work with 3D effects?
I don't know. I have
Probably
not worked with it
not.
myself.
Has anyone? I haven't even tried the
I have a
Glide
Voodoo
Whipper.
1, and I can try it on that system once later on, but
This is Brandon.
I
Right?
haven't gotten it over
Yeah,
yet.
that's
Yes.
Yeah, hit up
Brandon
Mr.
speaking.
President. He's got a
Cool.
XP build.
Okay.
We're gonna have
I'm more
LGR
worried
test it
about.
too. So
Oh hell yeah!
I'm more worried about eventually trying to get this onto yield CLT.
Oh,
yeah,
probably look
no,
great on
see,
CRT.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll look great. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
dude.
god!
Just plug it in.
CRT.
Yeah,
Uh,
all of the resolutions and stuff like that, all that stuff is just controlled via all that's just controlled via your graphics card. So like
Yeah.
as far as will the game support 4x3, if your graphics card supports 4x3, the game will support 4x3.
Yeah. Like, does the game like? I bet this game goes into 4K even. Like if you ask it to.
Yeah.
If you had the right adapters, you could plug this into an old black and white TV. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
doesn't matter what it outputs on.
I've got an old piece of junk 32-inch television from the year 2000 that's got its name on it.
Excellent.
Am I
Oh,
Rondi?
I just have a 12-inch tube TV.
Am I Rondi asks, what about Boss Hog? I don't know what that's referring to.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the
that was
big top boss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was that?
That's
One at a
the-
time.
Everyone got
I can
excited.
I can kick that off. Boss Hog is 03 to 06, I think. That's that horrifying monstrosity that has two legs,
Oh,
three
the
tongues, and
yeah, the
boss-
one that has like the mouth in the middle.
During
yeah,
the hog era.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Makes
people in Duke Nukem. Oh, sorry.
makes people cack their pants, but decides to make a beeline for them.
Duke
Yeah,
Duke
I
Nukem 0 Hour had a boss named Boss Hog, I think.
wonder if that was like a Dukes of Hazzard reference or something. I don't know if we have or will have any plans for that. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
everything-
there are some cool ideas that people have had for new hog enemies and stuff like that, but I don't know, like nothing for the first slice, but
Yeah.
like maybe will we have different hog enemies in the game? There's a good chance of it. So people may not be happy with the hog centric copy of Duke Nukem Forever, and we're certainly not going hog centric, but the pig cops are my favorite enemy in Duke Nukem. So.
Oh yeah, I mean they're iconic for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because going back to Boss Hog, whenever I think of that, I think of a Cat Icarus meme where he's dissolving in nuclear waste, waving his hand, going, "Nope, I'm not touching that. Bye, everyone. Have a nice life." Nope. Bye, everyone. Have a nice life.
Oh, someone's echoing.
Someone is echoing badly, yes.
Hold on, let me mute certain things.
It's you.
What just happened?
Commander Cody says, "I'd love to see a remake of Duke's model from Manhattan Project." Do you mean like as a statue or something? Because we have our own Duke model.
Yeah, it'd be neat to have multiple Duke models for multiplayer from all the different games. People can choose their favorite Duke.
That'd be neat. Yeah.
I will say
Will
that
they be
you
like
will be able to
other
choose
characters
between
on-
the 3 Duke models that have been for this game so far.
Oh, Deadeye Duke?
Right on.
You will be able
I
to play,
demand Happy Duke.
You will be
Where
able
is
to play
Happy Duke?
Deadite Duke, you will be able to play as Leak Duke, and you will be able to play as our Duke.
Cool.
Where is Happy Duke? I demand this.
Happy Duke.
I need Happy Duke. Do you not know what I'm
Happy
talking
Duke?
about? Hold on.
I do not. I've never seen this.
Okay, hold on. Let me
Why
find the
is
image.
everything locked up again, man? Alright. Important lesson learned here is that, in case anybody was curious, Linux is still not a good, stable thing to develop Duke on.
Weird.
Okay,
You don't say.
I'm gonna post this screenshot in No Mic General. Hold on.
Who exactly is Leak Duke and Deadeye Duke? Deadeye Duke is the Duke from like the very like the May 10th like leak where he has no eyes and like a weird marionette mouth.
Yeah, so it's just
Join
Deadite because Yeah.
There, look in
Yeah,
no
otherwise.
Mike General.
Oh wow!
See how happy he is.
I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, is that the one?
That's great.
That's fun.
It's the one
That's
Red
not our
posted
model,
forever ago.
so I
I
can't.
know, but it's
but
hilarious.
it could be fun to talk to whoever made that. But that is
Yeah.
that is a fun
Red
bet.
made it.
What's that?
Red made it. He has like like the character from the first Pokemon game, Red.
Okay.
That guy, he made it. I don't know if is he in this or hold on.
I just realized for Duke's pants, they just use like the default jeans texture.
Yeah, he's in this server.
Yeah, Red 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
okay. I
made
see
the
it.
Happy Duke model.
That's cool.
I
I
love
like to
it.
see. Yeah, I like to see someone recreate a Duke using the 98 Duke face because that 98 Duke face is way too handsome to not be used.
I think he's horrifying. I
We have
hate it.
actually been chatting about that as well.
Okay, I'll say no more then.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just saying that we were literally just having that conversation over the weekend.
Oh wow! Okay,
Over how
because
cool
like
it would be to incorporate that Duke.
have him be like Duke's dad or something. He looks like fucking Robert Redford. It's so weird.
I think his face is like terrifying. I hate him.
Really? Okay. Like,
like a lot.
Huh.
He looks very. He doesn't look very with us, if you know what I mean.
okay, hang on.
Is that Deadeye Duke you're talking about?
No,
No,
he's talking
90
about
No, not 98
Duke,
Duke.
where he's spray tan.
Oh.
Duke, yeah.
He kind of has like a Trump skin color going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta look at this. I gotta double check this.
I hate him.
Okay.
I don't hate him. I think he looks cool, but it is funny.
I mean, he just looks very wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks very greasy.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's Randy. Randy Duke.
Oh,
Wait,
He's covered head to toe in pizza grease.
I'm just slipping and sliding everywhere.
He took a dunk in melted lard.
You rubbed a ShamWow on and it'd be soaked.
Have a prize for catching him in the Amarillo State Fair.
I'm sweating the calories out.
Why is he so greasy? Like physically,
I
not like
don't
in terms
know.
of like acts, but like physical, like sweat and slime and grudge all over him.
I don't know. Why does Bombshell have visible nipples? I don't know. Someone thought all of
That's
those
just the
were good
90s.
ideas.
That's
Yeah.
just
I know,
the 90s.
but like
What
you
does
had to
Bombshell
include it
nipples have
in
to do
the
with Rand
texture.
looking like he fucking fell into a vat of oil?
Yeah, that's just the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Duke did star in porn, so
If you want to know
am
why
I wrong?
Bombshell has nipples, watch Friends.
Yeah.
I know that Bombshell has nipples because they were relentlessly horny, but like I find it like a very odd inclusion.
No, I'm saying it's just
I don't think it's odd at all.
It's just the time
Watch,
period.
watch Barbed Wire.
We need to make it fair for everyone. We got to give Duke visible nipples.
Okay.
Gotta make it.
Hey, give him the Batman and Robin nipples.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh God, he is very
Yeah, Batgirl's
greasy.
food had nipples. Like nipples were the thing. Visible nipples.
I really hate his face. He looks.
Give the EDF 209 like robot nipples.
Give it like.
You mean
Give it like
recharging points? Come on.
Give it
Exactly.
Give it the 2011 Alien Queen nipples.
God.
Boy,
That's terrible.
get a little off rails now.
Am I wrong to ask why does the Shrinker model look like a half of a Devastator with a brain? Because it's neat.
it looks cool.
Wait, what are we talking about? I'm sorry.
Am I wrong to ask why does the Shrinker model look like half of a Devastator with a brain?
Oh, Well, I mean, that wasn't always the one that they were going to use.
No. They had a ton of concepts they were playing with, but
yeah, but there's an actual fully functional model for another one that they were going to use.
yeah.
I don't see why they felt the need to change it. I like the crystal idea from Duke 3D myself.
The crystal is very cool, but I kind of like the brain. It's
Thing
weird.
here. Yeah, that's like some good like.
See,
I like my weapons have a bit of body horror in them.
so here's the
Yeah.
interesting bit. I always thought it was a brain. It looks like a brain to me in Duke 3D.
Oh, really?
I always thought that's what it was.
Even though when you
Really?
pick up the crystals, it says shrink crystals.
I would not. I don't think I've ever recognized that they are crystals.
Honestly,
the fact that
me
you're
either.
saying that they're crystals feels weird to me.
Yeah, if we,
I
if we
mean,
can pet the
honestly-
brain, that'd make the game better.
Civi part of the best of us of Duke's scientists using the alien protector drones, weird shrink powers, and turning that into a weapon.
Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense. Like in this world, especially because like DNF was going to be all about like, hey, what does Earth look like after the alien invasion? Duke 3D. It was like, well, they just got a whole bunch of technology with them.
That makes sense, I guess.
Is it just
All right,
me,
I'm
or
okay
does
with it.
Or does this bombshell skin look like it has like one messed up eye?
It's
Looks
mirrored.
like one's drifting to the side.
Well, it's because it's mirrored. It's a mirrored skin, right? So,
Yeah.
Oh God, it is, isn't it? Oh,
That's how they used to do
so
it.
it's just
yeah.
a little too much whites in the inside of the eye on the towards the nose bridge. So it looks like
God,
the
now I
eyes are
can't totally
separated a
see
little too
that.
much.
She's also really greasy, but not nearly as greasy as Duke. I have a mod for Gary's mod that puts this model in the Duke 98 guy in Gary's mod, and like I never noticed how greasy he is somehow. He's so greasy. Like he just looks like he's been dipped in actual grease.
I think it's like supposed to be like spray tan. Like or like some sort of tan. Like isn't like tanned skin very shiny? Or like oiled skin. I have no idea, but I know that was like a big thing.
It's
for, like,
probably more
muscle
oil
dudes.
than anything, like body
Yeah,
oil.
like oiled up muscled dudes is a thing.
Yeah.
They're probably going for that.
Especially with Arnold and stuff like that.
I think you might
For
just
sure.
be mistaking him for my father.
He looks like if I touched him, he'd be like soggy.
Oh God!
He looks like soggy bread.
I'm a big wet boy.
I'm sorry, but no one can be as greasy as my father. End of story.
I think it's just unfinished. I think
Yeah,
it was
of
meant to be
course.
that way.
Yeah, no.
Hold on. I just want to post this face without the glasses because I have the model.
Rainbow says Octobrains actually have shrinking powers, but I have a feeling they just evolved.
Not a bad model.
Hey, what do you know? Wait.
What am I? What?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I looked at that model. I kind of
Oh.
like it, but the thing is, it has like the big space
Movie.
on his suspenders for the grenade shells or whatever, but they're not actually there. So it like his suspenders look goofy.
I
Yeah.
don't even think they're
Okay,
on
not
the
to diss
texture.
the model, but the model that you posted, it looks like he should have a big cigar coming out of the side of his mouth.
It probably was meant to, yeah.
Yeah.
I gave him a cigar. Hold on. Let me.
You got a goofy face though.
I love how sharp his ears are. It's hilarious.
You could crack open a beer with that.
Just
That's
You
how
could
that's how
3D
you get
print.
alcohol.
you
You
probably
could 3D print that head and then
guy.
have him be a bottle opener, yeah.
I kind of want to 3D print that. He looks very. He would make a.
Well, I
very
mean, the
weird statue.
polygons are low enough you can make paper craft of it.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
have y'all
And
seen
the
the?
name of Civi.
Movie.
Hey,
ha-
there we go.
do you guys know the Maxwell cat from like Source stuff?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
No.
So there's this like
Oh, no,
cat
Z
in the
type thing.
infamous in the Source community, or not infamous, just famous. It's a very cute looking cat. Anyway, someone made a paper craft out of him, and it's really funny.
Oh,
Let me find
Is
it.
this the cat that was in the video where the guy goes in the massacre of the Combine because it says
Yeah, pick up that cat.
Okay,
Pick up
all
that
right.
cat. Yeah, hold on. And someone made him.
I think I saw a video of that cat model with Freebird playing because, of course, I did.
I really like the cat. It's very funny.
It's a good cat. It's a very good cat. Why do all Duke's opponents look like animals? It reminds me of the Zoonoids from Guyver. First of all, that's a deep cut. Guyver's a deep cut. I respect that.
I have no idea what that is.
That's like a old '80s anime that also got a live action movie with Mark Hamill in it.
Weird.
What do you mean by Duke's opponents look like animals? You mean like the pig cops and stuff? Because, I mean let me tell you about the police. Yeah.
I love that image of the cardboard Maxwell cat. It's so funny.
It's really good, actually.
Oh my god.
Someone's put so much time on that.
That's so fucking good.
We went from digitalizing somebody's cat to then taking the digitalized cat and making it real.
His power is unknowable.
There's so much violence in that cat.
I've been laughing at this image for like a week. I saw it in the Gmod subreddit like forever ago, and I can't stop laughing at it because he's just so fucking stupid looking. With all the creases and shit in him.
It's very good. To go back to Rondi's question, I think the reason for that is because like it's briefly mentioned that the cycloids are like transforming people into animals somehow. I think
you have army ants and stuff, and
yeah.
Honestly,
this series has always been about animals.
Like pigs are very closely related to people, and hogs are also like notoriously tough animals. Like physically, like you can't just shoot them with an ordinary gun. You have to get like them fucking big ones.
Yeah. Also, it looks cool.
It does, yeah.
There's also
that's the ultimate thing. Is it looks cool.
There's also a Duke comic that had sharks that actually had exoskeletons that came out of the water with machine guns. So.
Machine gun sharks.
I never read that Duke comic. I read the one that came with the Balls of Steel the Balls of Steel edition, but that's
yeah, that has the beach that has like the shark things in it.
Okay, I haven't read that in 2011.
Because I'm sorry, that's hilarious.
It is, yeah. The outfit he actually wears in that comic panel is similar to the one he has on in the cover of not Nuclear Winter. What did I say? Duke Caribbean.
Oh yeah. What are we looking at here, Otacon?
Yeah, no, I've been quiet for a minute, just kind of fixing stuff up. So I was cleaning up all these vents to make sure they actually look proper now. I was cleaning up some textures and stuff, and now I was trying to look into. Oh, come on, man. What the fuck? What the fuck? All right. So in this room, when you walk around here, when you get to the creases of these textures, it makes a water walking sound.
Right.
Oh.
So I was trying to look into that. By using the debug HUD, what I found. Oops. What I found.
Here is good.
That when it makes the noise, it shows that I'm standing on nothing.
That's weird.
So what? That's the default noise that it makes when you're standing on something it doesn't know what you're standing on.
That is, yep.
That's a weird pick.
So because it technically doesn't recognize me standing on anything, it just defaults to the default sound, which is water steps.
I would have made it like hardwood, not like walking through a swamp.
Exactly.
Maybe it's so that they would notice right away that it was wrong.
Oh, yep, just like the gray bubble texture. It's just so you notice right away. Yeah.
I don't know.
Good old placeholders.
Purple and black checker is much better.
I don't disagree.
I'm very curious. I never actually messed with the debug HUD. What the hell does laissez-faire mean in the context of this game?
Your mother's house.
I
Player
have no
state
idea.
laissez-faire false. That is such wow. That's such a
I really like
nonsense.
these light textures pasted onto the walls, like
Oh,
fake
these
lighting.
here? Yeah.
I know what laissez-faire means, but
Yeah, me too. But like, what does it mean in the context of the game?
Right. Oh, that's super interesting though too. It also shows you Duke's eye height is at 27 units.
Yeah.
because
That's good to know.
sorry, I'm a bit hinged on that. Laissez-faire is a term used for government interference in business.
Look at the like the little writings the dude on the computer has next to him. That made me laugh the first time I saw that.
While I was playing the demo, the current build anyway, I noticed that pressing escape doesn't actually pause the game, and then I tried to pause it in the console, and it says game is not pausable.
Yeah, the only way you can pause it is by pressing the pause break button.
Yeah.
I tried that; that didn't work either.
Pausing is kind of crungled right now.
It just paused everything right there on screen.
All right, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Weird, it doesn't work for me.
Gotta go into the console and you gotta go slow mo, and then it's like a fucking obscene fraction with the slow mo cheat.
Oh.
That
I
radio
mean, it's not
station text
technically
looks wrong.
paused. It works.
That radio station text does not look right.
Is that because it's treating it like a multiplayer game or something? Or
that
you can't pause a multiplayer game? Is that why it's like that? Or it's treating it like a multiplayer game?
I'm not sure what the reasoning is for it. That might be
mighty
somewhat
foot ammos.
Because like, can you pause the UT99 in single player?
I don't know.
Pretty sure you
But
could.
if you press escape, I assume you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be able to.
Like you go into the menu.
I imagine it's something with the timing or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something is just not set up properly. I don't want to blame 3D Realms, but my guess is it's something in their custom code.
We don't need a neural network to imitate Duke's voice. We got Gianni.
Yeah.
What?
Also, fuck neural networks and.
Neural networks are really cool, but if you're doing that for voice generation, it removes all humanity out of the process, out of the equation.
It like anything that could like lead to people losing their jobs, I'm not in favor of.
Yeah, like I hate AI art generation. It's
it can look really cool, but like the way it's done and the reason it's being done are very like nefarious to me.
Well, it's pulling from internet searches, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, some of them still have like signatures and shit on it. You know, it's just like you're just stealing art but making it more complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, AI art has a lot of potential, but I mean, putting real artists out of a job because you can put whatever you want to an AI is shitty. I mean,
I think
it's kind of like I had a comparison in mind, but I can't think of it now. But
it can be like shitty and stuff like that, but like I've used some AI art generated stuff, and like I find it like for me, I find it very as somebody who I'm an artist who has no canvas. I don't really I can't draw. Like I've played some musical instruments, but I can't compose music. You know what I mean? Like I can write, but nothing worth it. You know what I mean? And so it's like with AI art generation, it helps me personally transpose my ideas into physical. Like a physical manifestation.
It's neat for sketching an idea. Yeah,
exactly.
The technology, I think, is amazing. The execution is, like you said, maybe possibly a little nefarious. But if people, if you made an AI neural network model yourself out of your own artwork or stuff you made, and then use the AI to generate stuff based on you, then I think that's outside of that's a whole lot less nefarious, and it could be an interesting tool for artists.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's not, a valuable and interesting tool. Right. I'm going to talk about something furry here for a second, so just fair warning. A lot of furries out there
I
are
appreciate the
going
warning.
like,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
a lot of furries out there, right, are going, I'm going to stop commissioning artists because I can just put something into an AI art generator and get whatever I want.
And it looks like ass.
Yeah, but if you just sit there and push the button long enough, you'll get something that you like. And it just means that, these people who have made their whole income based around their artwork are now going to have harder times getting people to commission their artwork. Because they're just going to go,
surprised to hear that from the furry community, because it's from my understanding,
it's a lot of
being
younger furries
adjacent,
doing that.
like not adjacent, but you know what I mean, like seeing a lot of it
Yeah.
secondhand. It was my understanding that a lot of those folks were really like all about the community and stuff like that. So I would
It's a
think
lot
that they
of-
would still want to, utilize their friends to draw stuff for them, because there's like a mutual, this may be your job, but we're still friends kind of deal,
Here's my perspective. So, there's been lots of technology over the years that has endangered human artists for lots of different fields, but human artists for these fields have never gone away. Like, there's still always going to be a place for it, and there's still always going to be a demand. It might lessen it to a degree, but it's not going to disappear completely. Like, it's kind of similar to analog versus digital, like music media and recording in recording studios. Even lots of people do it on their home computers digitally now, while a lot of people prefer analog tape. Like, it's still going to be there. I don't think it's going to delete it outright.
Yeah, I know, but there's a lot of younger furries out there that just don't understand why anyone would commission an artist, because they think AI can do everything.
And I think that just comes down to immaturity, and over time they'll discover why. Like, it's
I know, but
all things have a.
It's sort of dangerous, because we're bordering on like, it's weird. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Whenever anything new comes out, it can always be abused and used the wrong way and have negative connotations and effects. It's growing pains for new things, I think. And but I think history's shown that lots of this stuff has happened, and it's turned out all right in the end. So I think this will too.
As long as people do like push back on its more egregious like things, like
as long as people are educated, continue to educate people about what it's doing, and absolutely.
Yeah, like how
I gotta pop out for a bit, guys. I gotta run get my son from school, but if you're still on later, I'll be back. All right?
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for stopping by, Brandon.
Yeah.
No problem.
Take it easy.
See you guys.
No, I think those are all very. Sorry, go ahead.
I can personally agree with him as well. There is something to be said about the human touch.
Absolutely.
Not just in terms of having an intimate understanding of the materials, but also the flaws of having a human work on it is more attractive to me, because then I know for certain it's an actual human being working on this rather than pumped out of a machine.
No, absolutely. I mean, to err is a human.
That's why I stick with, I don't do AI anything when it comes to my own project. I prefer having a human work on it, because that way I know for certain that, things might not be quote unquote perfect, but it could be more. It will have more of an impact.
Reality is imperfect, though.
Absolutely, yeah.
So just, Otacon, why is your taskbar so big?
Because he's in Linux.
Yeah, I don't.
I know, but like, why is
so
it so?
I installed my graphic drivers, and now it is like it's like everything is being scaled to 125 to 150%, but within the settings it isn't. So I just keep ignoring it.
It's just, I've just been weirded out.
You'll find like through bug like I have just no soul having to restart the editor like 5 times in a row repeatedly during the stream.
Yeah,
I am just somebody
been
who just
watching you
keeps
do
on
it.
keeping on.
I just thought that like you had it like that, and I was just very confused as to why it was like that.
I reinstalled Linux on my laptop last night yesterday before I left work, and then didn't get finished setting it up until about 2 o'clock this morning. So,
oof.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like there.
You have through enough folders there.
But
I would never criticize someone for.
I'm
the amount of
probably
folders.
going to take my like 15-20 minute break here, and then come back and stream a bit more. Probably do another like hour and a half or so if people are down.
Yeah.
Right now, what we're leaving off, just to kind of because I know you asked me, and then we got on another tangent. But basically, right now, when you go to use this puzzle, your like hand is super zoomed in, and I've tried messing with the FOV and a bunch of other things with it, and I just couldn't get it to work. So what I'm trying to do now instead is just carry over a known working power puzzle, and then plug the old information into it, so it works the way it was supposed to still.
Okay.
And then once I come back, I think we're going to work on the combat that is going to take place inside of the pool area, because that'll just be a nice good way. That's a nice meaty thing to do, and it'll be a nice good way to top off the end of the stream here. So
yeah,
like I said, I'll be back probably in about 20 minutes or so, and yeah.
All right.
All right. See you in a bit.
Yeah. See ya.
So, yeah. Found the bomb yet?
All right. Well,
What?
like hold off on it.
Put away
Fine.
the plastic
Oh
explosives.
boy.
Okay?
Yeah,
What?
we had something happen to us during break.
I saw a little bit of the no mic chat during break.
Yeah, we
It's like that gif of that dude walking in with a pizza while the house was on fire.
All right.
So what's going
Okay.
on?
You know, thingies stuff.
It started off with AI generated dinosaurs, and then it like evolved.
Yeah,
into
we're
complete
talking about
nonsense.
AI art, and then the things just kind of escalated very rapidly.
Fair.
I wouldn't say escalate. I'd say devolve.
Yeah, that also. It can go both ways.
Let me identify when this started.
I'm just gonna kind of slowly turn a lot of this stuff off, so it's not as much to deal
I'm
with.
gonna blame the Family Guy AI generation.
Yeah, that probably did it. That probably broke us.
I fucking love that image. It's hilarious.
Yeah, we were talking about how like building on like the AI art discussion, how like AI art is really good for prototyping and like idea building.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we just kind of then all of a sudden a bunch of really fucked up dinosaurs started getting posted, and then
It all went downhill together.
yeah, yep.
And
it just got worse and worse over time.
Well,
car with the chickens in its engine.
well, oh.
So what are we
All
looking
right.
at here, Otacon?
Yeah. All right. So, there's some combat already set up in this level, and we're gonna look at that a little bit. Try to figure out what was already placed here. I think by Chubarda, and then kind of iron some of that out. And what I really want to get made is since they have basically existed in our build, which has been, I think, before you guys got your first playtest even. We've had these. I have to turn the lobby back on. Oh boy, I don't know what they're actually under. Here they are. All these fellows.
If I could,
No, don't interrupt just yet. Sorry.
Yeah, we're starting things up at the moment.
Yeah. So basically, the idea since the beginning is these guys were originally in the casino area, and they were supposed to just kind of be like the precursor to you like getting into fights. That actually looks kind of cool the way that's set up with all the different triangles like that. And so what I want to have done is they were supposed to run in from the casino area, and they were supposed to be the zombies here. So we changed a little bit how this works, and so the zombies are just there now, and as a byproduct of that, those folks just got moved over to here. So what I would like to do is I'm going to set up a trigger and a dispatcher to cause all of these folks to run in from the pool area and to have zombies show up in the pool area. And basically there will be more snatched to fight throughout the pool area, and then as you go through this area, it'll spawn the as you go through and get the other things that are needed to progress in the level, the EDF will come in on this area.
Okay. It would be kind of cool if like that window looks like it's begging to be broken by something.
I was just thinking that when I was saying that the EDF.
Yeah, because like, what if like the troop carrier came smashing through the window or something and crashed? If we could do that, obviously not maybe
Yeah,
for
that's
slice, but
that's post first slice, something like
yeah,
that. But
yeah, that'd be a cool idea.
for sure.
I was just thinking like it goes through one window, it drops everyone off, then it crashes through the next window.
It just fucking leaves.
It's just so careless
I'm getting
without.
out of here, man.
Are not. Some of these are set up. Bathroom pool side.
Have we figured out what causes? I know this has been a recurring thing. The spawners to kind of get a little bit too overactive and spawn too many. Have we kind of finally ironed that out?
Yeah. What's causing that is just them. They're not being set. They're not set up properly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Some of that is just also it's us just still learning it.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now I think the way that spawners work in our current build is that like, yeah, they just kind of they're spawn on top of each other sometimes, which is kind of funny to see.
Yeah.
They're just so excited to kill Duke.
Yeah. Okay, these ones are kind of set up properly. 2, 3, 4, 5. Although there weren't enough spawn points placed down for them. I mean, this should be set to 0.1.
The snatch.
Yep, I'm listening. Oh, for real? My internet dropped right as. Are we back? Am I back? Okay, I think I'm back now.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Something happened with Discord. It wasn't actually because the stream didn't go down, did it?
Yeah, no, the stream was fine.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. Okay.
I think
So you have to repeat yourself. I'm sorry.
No, no worries. I was just talking about how the guy who steals the TV in front of the boys' toys, and he's supposed to run towards the group of survivors, the elevator. The snatch that spawns to kind of scare him off, is the snatch supposed to still walk towards him, or is the snatch spawn based on the player approximation to the guy stealing the TV?
So what causes that entire event is you walk to a certain spot. So basically how that works is hang on just a second, I'm sorry.
No worries. Oh shit, I'll be right back, y'all.
Okay.
I'm
I
tired.
hope I'm actually muting myself when I'm pressing mute. Anyways, so how that setup works is basically you walk to a certain point of the map, which is like here-ish.
Okay.
I stopped because when I went to go into 3D view, I was inside of a wall.
And also we're on a delay.
Yeah. So right around here is where the trigger is, and it's what sets off him kicking that open, and then him running back, and then that's all just on a dispatcher, which is what this thing I'm looking at right now is actually. And all a dispatcher is a dispatcher is a series of triggers and events. So you have a trigger set off a dispatcher, which is like another series of triggers that get set off after that. But it doesn't have to be. That's how you get like spawn triggers and other things to work too. And not you don't have to, but this also allows you to like time them, and like a lot of the audio for the call in the penthouse A, all of that is done through dispatchers, and like timing out like the conversation with Jay and Duke is all a dispatcher that's properly timed.
Okay, interesting.
So it looks like hallway mindset, like nothing seems to. I don't know what triggers bathroom poolside. None of these things.
Good.
I don't think this is actually complete.
One in you.
Oh, what is
Why do
this?
I have these? Any of this?
Okay, this is what spawns the
that
soldiers back there.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Welcome
back.
This shouldn't
Hi,
actually
back.
be
I'm dead.
like that. It should be.
I heard it coming a mile away before you said.
What else?
Like, oh no, I stepped into that.
Switch this to random SWAT.
Else.
There we go.
Do I need Vietnam?
Okay.
I'm unsubscribed.
Is there a way to I mean, I guess there is a way to print messages to the screen, kind of fake certain things if we don't have them ready. That might be interesting.
As far as
Just thinking about like how the EDF get here in the first slice. Are we just gonna have them just like spawn in as is?
I don't know.
oh, into the pool,
Yeah.
probably.
Okay. All right.
You know what might be interesting? Having them spawn up in the balconies. I know the
Yeah.
balconies aren't filled out yet. That's something Fulsy's working on right now. But that would be
Okay.
kind of fun, is just to have them up there, so you kind of have to deal with them in that
Yeah.
weird verticality. Because from what I have found, the most effective method in this game, as is with every Duke game, is just to grab the shotgun and sprint as fast as you can through the level, running up as close as you can without being too dangerous to the enemy, and just filling them with lead.
Yep. Yep.
Which is good. I like that gameplay personally, but you know, as far, you know, but
It can get a little bit boring.
yeah. So
Yeah.
adding that verticality like that could be a fun way to spice that up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Turn all these folks so they're facing this direction.
It also has something where like because it does. When the EDF come in, is the player going to be in the same room or are they going to be somewhere else? Because from what I saw,
So basically, what I'm going to doing is that these 6 snatched are going to spawn as the player comes into the bathroom, and then these EDF are already set up to spawn as the player hits this trigger right here.
Okay.
And so then I am going to build off of that, basically.
Okay.
So to answer your question, yes, they spawn outside of the player's view.
Always do like a quick sound effect of like doors being kicked open on the balconies, and then kind of make it that way. That might be interesting.
Yeah, that's a good idea. How close am I to the? Pretty close.
I love those hot tubs. That's such a cool little little thing.
That's why I'm
Is
really trying to do something with all of this, because that's the only thing
Yeah.
that was the discussion as we were, like I said, today is kind of yesterday was the last day for major changes to levels, and as far as geometry or flow goes, and
Right.
so it was this is such a cool area that we really want to make sure that we can incorporate. It's just that, okay, well, if we're going to incorporate it, then we need to make sure we're doing something with it.
For sure,
So.
absolutely. Is Falsian also this is also kind of a nitpick. The ceiling in this room, is that going to be touched up?
I don't know.
Okay.
You saying it should though?
It just looks a little flat if you look at the ceiling. Other than the light fixture, it feels like there should just be more going on. I don't know, maybe a mural similar to what's in Duke's penthouse. Something, there needs to be some spice that ceiling. I don't know, something to break up just the flatness of it.
Okay, I feel that. Unless
Can I
my license is plugged out.
offer a suggestion?
Go for it.
Why not? Because my personal it's called Leisure Center, but it has a large pool similar to this. Uses a steel construct for the ceiling. Steel bars overlapping each other. Going across the ceiling.
Yeah. That could be interesting.
Maybe have us do something like that where it's not overtly taxing for the engine, but still adds some detail.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
have
Liquid-
it a 2D sprite.
Yeah, absolutely. Liquid points out what I'm talking about beautifully. The tile texture ceiling doesn't look right. It should be one giant ceiling texture, in their opinion. It looks like the 24 by 24 texture is just repeated 20 times. So yeah, again, very, very minor nitpick. Absolutely not critical to the launch of the first slice at all.
Right.
But
I feel you.
Yeah.
Because going back to 2006, 2003 builds I was talking about earlier.
Oh yeah.
I'm including this on the no mic general.
What is that? 2006. Looks
Yeah.
like 2006. Anyway, I'm back. I had to piss, and plus I got cookies.
Welcome back.
But if you look to the left, you can see that it's been upgraded to 2003 to 2006 style. But the right doesn't.
Vaseline.
The right has 30-minute photos.
The right has some add-on bump mapping here and there, but most of it is just looks like it was from 2001.
Yeah, very flat textures. Yeah. I think they're trying to hide it with all the post processing.
Which looks like ass.
Yeah.
Cause of concern: Bloom.
Yeah, Bloom was. I'm so glad we are past the times of Bloom, because it just made so many games look such ass.
I know that sounded loud, obnoxious, and horrible, but so does the actual bloom effect, so at least it blends in together. But all seriousness, I am convinced that this was part of 2003.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're probably were building on what they had already, right?
That was then modernized, but not completely.
Yeah.
I'm bringing this to your attention because if what do you call it? This might be something to use for if you guys do the whole return to the Vegas Strip thing.
When you're done. Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think we have that in our plans. I don't think so. No, I don't think we have a return to Vegas planned. I mean, who knows the future holds, but
Because my thought is this: is you return to the Vegas Strip, on board a train, and then I don't know, find your bike, and then hop to the stratosphere.
right.
This is just a suggestion.
No, of course.
I'm not forcing anything on you guys. Believe me.
No.
I don't think that's what the tram was meant for, though.
Well, honestly, we don't know.
Oh, are y'all gonna I know this is past First Slice, but are y'all gonna include the the Area 51 shuttle section when you're further along?
I was checking. I was checking that out late a couple nights ago. That would be a really cool thing to include. I think
for sure.
It doesn't work at all whatsoever in any capacity right now. But,
no, it doesn't.
But it's cool.
For sure.
It is very
for
cool.
sure.
With all the different pipe sections and shit.
Yeah.
Very cool thing.
Oh gosh. I might need to actually take off because I just got a message from my school regarding an assignment and saying that actually they screwed up and something's due tonight.
Uh-oh.
So yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
I already have it half finished, so it's not like horrible panic. It's just like, oh, come the fuck on. But yeah, I gotta take off, folks. Yeah. But
good luck,
as always,
man.
This has been great. And take it easy, everyone.
Yep, keep it easy, bud. Thanks for joining.
See ya.
Wait, what? Hold on.
What?
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
No, yeah, you just had.
Yeah, he
duck
left.
out.
I know.
Yep. He's my co-host, but we continue.
The show must go on.
Mm-hmm. Even when a co-host has school to do.
Yeah. So, this should be set up now. Let's see how it plays out.
Oh my god, train car test. What is it?
Groovy.
Give myself kind of what I would have.
I love how that TV's just floating in front of it.
Get your free TVs.
He's actually holding it.
Yeah, but his arms are going up and down, and the TV is just still flying through the air.
I didn't know that you guys were gonna open up this part.
He just rotated it.
Whoa! What the hell?
Presenting the TV to you.
He's offering it to you. Duke, do you want a TV?
You want your TV back?
It's my casino.
I should have these guys automatically aggro onto Duke when they spawn. That way they start just creeping up on me as I'm like doing stuff.
This whole concept of the, what are they called, snatchers with the tentacles inside the bodies? It's a really interesting concept that didn't make it into the 2011 version.
Yeah, they felt the need to add every Duke Nukem 3D enemy and get rid of every other
nostalgia bait instead.
Yeah.
Like I said, it has its own cameo era, just like Half-Life 2. You kill those guys really fast.
Alright, I'm gonna have to increase these guys' aggro range too, so they start shooting you. Because I want them to shoot you. Because basically, I want those guys to come at you as you walk into there, and then I want these guys to be shooting you as you like come out of this tunnel, basically, because they're directly across from me here. It's actually out of the range of me too. That's interesting.
I just thought about it. Do the repelling animations have a sound?
No.
I'll mark that down.
Yeah, because I always I associate that same repel with the Combine in Half-Life 2 repelling down walls, because they always had a really noticeable sound.
Well, I mean, they should have a noise.
Yeah.
Well, see,
yeah,
so
I'll make sure that happens.
Normally, with the noises, like when they're deployed so far in both points in the demo, you'll see repelling units in the first slice. They're breaking through glass. So them breaking through glass is like the announcement of them being there.
Yeah,
Which is
they
most
have
likely
a good,
why there's no sound.
They have a good like announcement with a whole entire glass pane shattering.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for just detail though too.
Oh, I don't disagree. Okay, so this is honestly too far for them to fight me and too far for me to fight them. So that's not a good spot. Maybe have them
feel like
spawn
pretty
down
big
there
room.
instead. It is a really big room. I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut it. It's so cool.
No, absolutely.
No, don't cut it. Absolutely leaving it.
Is it? Could you have? Does it make sense to have? I guess it doesn't make sense to have like catwalks above the pool. I don't know. Probably not.
No. Like you wouldn't if they're deploying units that far up, shouldn't they be sniper units though?
What if it was like certain glass ceilings and they rappelled down?
Well, I did want to put a repelling scene in here.
Also, that texture on the roof looks really messed up.
So like as you like come through here, like this is a big skylight and have them
Oh
rappel
yeah,
down.
that's a good spot. Yeah.
So that was something I was thinking about. And then like I said, what I want it to be like is like you come out of this elevator. Oh, that's an ugly BSP hole. You come out of this elevator here, and then all these folks that are just kind of meandering right here. All right, guys.
Do we have airborne? Whoa! Look at this. Do we have airborne enemies like the drones in Duke 3D? Maybe it could be like flying enemies in that room.
I don't think there are any airborne enemies. 2001 though.
We have
probably not enough time for that now. Then.
Well,
I mean the Octobrain.
Well, yeah, those. Okay.
But
right.
Yeah, we also have plans to make lizard troopers fly and stuff like that too.
The gunships were supposedly also supposed to be enemies.
Oh yeah, the gunships too. There was oh hey, Darryl.
Hello.
Oh yeah. Hi.
Was this part of the October leak? No, the pool is an addition by the restoration team.
Freaking good one too.
Yeah, looks like very good.
What a set piece that is. What the heck? There's an RPG in that case.
Whoa.
Okay, so basically this is too big of a...
Okay, I know you kind of like feature... I know you've kind of like feature locked the levels, but I was really hoping to like smash the chandeliers on soldiers' heads and stuff. Is that possible?
Oh, that would be a cool thing to get set up for like...
Yeah,
that would be a cool thing to get set up. I don't know about for
Because they're moving around and swiveling, I'm like, oh, is this a thing? But no, it wasn't a thing.
I'm sure there's probably a way to do it since they're movers.
Oh, that's a BSP hole too. Huh, I wonder
why was there a lava lamp on the floor?
Decoration.
Just, like, chilling out.
Why not?
Why on the floor?
Why not?
Right in the middle of the floor.
Let's see.
They ran out
literally.
Of the interior decorator.
Let's
just put everything on the floor.
Save really quick. Is all this zoned? Oh, that's probably why this is going crazy. None of this stuff is zoned.
What, so many BSP bowls? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we're getting some BSP holes that are popping up, but as you can see, all of this is the same color, which means it's all the same place.
Whoa,
as far as the map is concerned. So, except for that room back there, thank you, Full C. So I'm going to cut up these dressing rooms really quick and help that then. The sheet builder, it might be 256. I don't know what the size he used was. Let's just check that. Here, and then we'll kind of look at how we can tweak that fight. Okay, it's less than 256. How is that height-wise? Where is it? Oh, why does it have to be something weird? It's like 190... What is that, 192? That's not a calculator. Yep, it's 192.
This is Mandriva Linux, right?
It's Manjaro, yeah.
Manjaro, sorry.
Yeah. No worries.
I started using Manjaro on my laptop in anticipation of getting the Steam Deck because it uses the same.
Yep, uses Arch. Yep.
Are you using KDE?
Yes, I'm using Plasma. Yep.
Everything looks very Steam Deck-ish right now.
Yeah, I think the Steam Deck technically uses its own thing, but
Yeah, it's modified Arch with KDE Plasma.
Yeah.
But it resembles, Manjaro resembles it quite closely.
Oh yeah.
I gotta say, I like what's that window manager? It starts with X. It's
XFCE or X, yeah.
XFCE. It's super fast and smooth. It's the fastest I've ever used in Linux.
Yeah, Plasma's a little showy, but I just like it.
Yeah, well, yeah. KDE is the closest to Windows, right? At this point, or it used to be anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of like Windows, it's kind of like Mac. It's like a marrying of the two.
Right.
When I actually first used it, it had this little like bar at the bottom, kind of like Mac OS does.
Where everything's centered.
Yeah.
I guess Windows 11 does that now, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it does. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to 11.
Neither
I kind of
am
make it a practice to skip every other version of Windows now, just because it seems to be the tried and true route to take.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, makes sense. Windows 7 was good. Windows 8 was shit. Windows 10 was good. Windows 11 is shit.
Windows 98 was good. Windows ME was crap. 2000 was good.
Windows 98 was good with Windows 98 SE, but Windows 98 was
Second edition, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then that makes sense because Windows 95 was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Windows 98 was in between them. Well, I guess 2000 to XP was an okay shift.
Yep, but they had ME in the middle, which was terrible. Or in between.
I thought ME was before 2000.
Yeah, it was before 2000. So.
I mean, yeah, so it was ME 2000 and XP. 2000 and XP were both okay. That's kind of the only point where that happened.
Like 2000 and XP ran on NT, unlike the previous versions of Windows. It's like
yeah. 98 and ME were still built on DOS. What was after XP again? It was.
Why are there's so much
Vista.
Overlapping geometry here?
Vista is basically just Windows 7. There's very little change between the two.
Under the hood, though, right?
I think like the big thing is that like Vista came out and like laptops just weren't good enough to run it.
But I don't know. I've used Vista, and then I used 7, and I liked 7's. I don't know, the look of it, the way the interfacing was better, but it was basically the same under the hood.
7 is better, but Vista got
very
way
nice.
too much hate. At least it wasn't like Windows like Millennium Edition.
Right.
Bad.
So
or not Windows 8.
Yeah. People like I didn't even use 8.1. Like I just totally skipped the 8 phase. People who have used.
I hate the fact that the server infrastructure is still using the Windows 8. I guess I don't know if 2019 does, but Windows Server 2016 still used the Windows 8 user interface, and I don't even know why. Like there was absolutely no reason for them to push that upon enterprise users. It's so frustrating.
Apathy.
Hatred, pure utter hatred.
Yeah. I can't think of a better excuse because
they just personally hate you.
So people who have used Windows 11, I've heard that when it first started, it was actually okay, but now it's actually gotten significantly worse.
I've heard it was I heard it was terrible from start, and it's worse now.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
another one
I've
of those,
heard.
like,
Yeah, I've heard people say that. I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
it's another one of those Windows 7 moments where people are just gonna stay on 10 forever.
Yeah, well, I've heard that there was a harsh reaction to 11, but the people who used it said, "No, guys, it's fine. Don't worry about it." And then as time went on, they were like, "No, yeah, this is getting pretty bad."
Yeah,
It's,
well,
like,
the problem
complete
is that
ass.
they're still following the same mentality they were with 10, or at the end of 10's life cycle at least, where they're just pumping out updates without actually properly like testing them first.
Right.
And so we're running into all kinds of issues like the newest update for Windows 11 has a good chance to break wireless. It'll
Oh,
cause
great.
issues with wireless cards.
That's what everyone wants.
Specifically Intel based cards we found, but hey, that's like the majority of the shareholder or wireless cards, so good luck. They've also been trying to push Windows Hello, which is a
Ugh.
facial
Why?
recognition software that detects to make sure that you're you, so you can sign into your computer.
Yeah, even though facial recognition is literally like one of the worst like security locks there is.
Yep.
Didn't Windows 10 have hello? I know some laptops
Yes,
had it or
but
something.
now they're actually like forcibly enabling it in places. So
Oh, great.
like
That's what everyone wants.
yeah, so like for example, I recently had to troubleshoot a computer where one of our programmers was having an issue where he would like end for the night, he never turns off his computer because who turns off their computer, and then he would
I
come in
do.
the morning and it would be, the lock screen, but then it wouldn't let him enter a password. And through group policy, we have Windows Hello disabled because we want nothing to do with it. Well, Windows doesn't really care, and so
Of course.
simultaneously, I went into the settings and found that on the same screen, at the top of the screen, it showed that Windows Hello was disabled and could not be enabled by by administrator policy, and then at the very bottom of the screen where it had further like advanced options for Windows Hello, it had checked on use Windows Hello at login screen on wake up. So it was still trying to
Wow.
force him to use Windows Hello, even though it
That
was
sounds like
disabled.
Microsoft, all right.
Yeah, so it's just like I don't know, and
I'm telling you
they're
guys,
just
I am
not
this
thinking
close
about
to
it.
abandoning. I'm this close to abandoning Windows forever. Like just going full Linux. Like with the advent of the Steam Deck pushing progress with Wine and Proton, and lots of games work fine in Linux now. I'm really just close to going full Linux.
I mean, I was playing God of War on my earlier this morning on my laptop running Linux. So you can run cutting edge stuff just as good as you can on Windows at this point.
The only thing holding me back right now is my digital audio workstation. I use Cakewalk, and it still doesn't run well in Wine.
Gotcha.
And I'm too used to it now to switch to something new. Like I've been using it for years since it was still Sonar.
I'll probably just end up dual booting.
That's what I'm
Like
doing right
Windows
now.
and
That's
Linux.
another option. Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that at some point. Maybe when I put I want to get a new PC case. I hate my PC case. It's a shitty PC case. I want to get a new one. Plus, I want to get a new graphics card. So I think when I do that shit, I'll dual boot Linux on it because I don't know. I'm tired of Windows. It's annoying.
Like there was just for a long time I could just overlook most of the stuff Windows quirks were known for. But I mean, Microsoft's really getting into this. No, we're going to force you to use this feature like more and more every year, and it's driving me nuts.
Microsoft doesn't even use Windows in like their offices and shit. Like
I don't blame
programmers don't use Windows; they use Linux.
So that just goes to show, like they're not even using their own product. How can they even properly test this stuff? Like,
I've never really understood that. Like a lot of our programmers like to use Macs in order to program, and I'm just like, but why though? You're writing programs for Windows. Like you're gonna have to test.
Well, I wouldn't touch Macs with a 10-foot pole anyway.
Oh, they're fine.
I hate Apple.
Other than the fact that they have, that they expire and stuff like that. I mean, I've got like a 2014
and if they break,
MacBook
you
Pro.
can't fix it.
Wait,
No, I mean, no, it's just a hassle to fix it. You can fix it.
It's planned obsolescence is the problem.
Yeah, I
but
won't disagree
and
with
if
that. I'm not. A,
but
know,
if
I'm not a
something
Mac,
does break down, yeah. But when something does break down, like it's easier to fix it with a PC than it is a Mac. And more often than not, if you call into support or whatever, they'll just send you a new one and throw out the old one. Like that goes for the phones and everything.
Yep.
Which is just wasteful.
Yeah.
Apple is super wasteful. Plus, it's a very exploitive company, so I don't support Apple in any.
I mean, for a long time, I know they were the industry standard for like, professional work in video and audio and music and stuff. Like that was just and 3D graphics. That was the go-to. But I think that's changed now. Like not so much anymore.
I don't support companies who have exploitive practices. That's why I don't buy AAA games.
Well, you shouldn't support any company.
Well, I try to support companies that are better about it. I don't like buying from AAA game studios mainly because of crunch culture.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's so much going on behind the scenes nobody knows about. I mean, the bad stories we've heard are the ones that have leaked out, but every company has bad practices.
Yeah,
I know.
Especially AAA companies.
That's why I don't buy AAA games.
Yeah, but I mean, it's everywhere. So,
unless you count,
kind of part of the monster of the system.
Do I own a single? What kind of AAA game can I think of that I've actually spent money? Skate 3, maybe? I think that's it.
Well, I was a big supporter of id Software ever since Doom 2016 came out until the whole Mick Gordon travesty that just came out recently.
I actually don't know what happened with that. I need to check out.
Yeah, so TLDR, after Doom Eternal was released, they promised the original soundtrack by Mick Gordon to come with it. And when it came out, it was horrible quality. And then Mick came out and said that, I didn't work on any of this. This was mixed by somebody else with in-game stems. I only did a few of the tracks in professional quality. And so then I was like, oh, what the heck, Id? Like, what are you doing? Like, and then Marty Stratton posted a big post on Reddit. This was 2 years ago, saying that, Mick was very uncooperative and he was missing deadlines. Even though we gave him extensions, he still didn't finish and basically threw him under the bus. So for 2 years, we're left with that, and Mick didn't say a word. So we're like, oh, I guess Mick did, drop the ball. But just recently, like this month, he released a huge statement with a whole bunch of receipts on what actually went down and how he's been struggling legally with them for 2 years now, trying to work this out. Turns out they used double the amount of work that he made that they didn't pay for, that was rejected. So they only paid him like half of what they should have, and it's insane. And Marty was just, to be fair, this is Marty Stratton that he's singling out, not the rest of id Software. But Marty Stratton is the executive of id Software now, so the whole company's under his control, as I understand it. So that's I'm in a rock and a hard place now with supporting id Software because of Marty. And I feel exceptionally bad because I was kind of against Mick all this time, and now after learning all this, I feel bad I didn't have his back as a fellow game composer and a contract worker who it's so easy to get thrown under the bus, and he was under so much crunch. Like, you should read it. It's a huge read. It's a huge essay, really, that he wrote, but it's incredible what he went through and how he held it all together. And now he says that, I'm speaking out now because my reputation is damaged, and this is the only thing I can do. It's the only thing I have left to do.
Huh.
It's a pretty horrible story, considering the Doom games are amazing. But there's always something. There's always something in these companies that sours everything.
Indeed.
My editor has locked up.
I can see that.
Yeah, that doesn't look right.
That sucks.
Oh, Gmod has almost loaded. Loading Gmod with 50 gigabytes of add-ons is always a struggle. Oh, I have a problem.
I've got one thing I want to show. It's probably it's Duke related, but I don't know if
What
we're
is it?
actually gonna use it. If you've ever looked at the 1997 screenshots from magazines of Duke Nukem Forever,
Mm-hmm.
there's a proton like
There's a
robot
proton
there
monitor,
that,
yeah.
not the monitor.
What?
The
Oh,
one of
the big,
walkers.
the big walker robot.
Yeah, I modeled it out.
Ah, cool.
I always thought those things were cool. It kind of has the Half-Life 1 alpha mech feel. As in,
Oh yeah, I remember
it's
seeing
really
this.
good.
Cool.
Makes me think of RoboCop.
Yeah, I almost feel
Yeah.
like that might just straight up be reference to that.
Reference, yeah.
Well, I mean, we have a Terminator, so like.
Yeah, totally believable.
Yeah,
it also
it's
fits
probably.
the 80s action movie motif.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing like doing all that all over again. But it was okay because it wasn't actually quite working anyway. So we're going to start with cleaning up all this brushwork because, Jesus Christ. Turn on the arcade and the action figures again.
I almost just knocked a whole lot of water on my floor. That would have been fine.
Okay, so there are zone portals, but they're set up as like big boxes, which is
not the big boxes.
Which is not correct. Okay.
What do zone portals do?
Zone portals cut off sections of the map from the other sections of the map.
Oh, is that what makes them their own color?
Yep.
What's the benefit of that?
Loading.
Just aesthetic?
Like things that
Okay,
no, not
loading.
just aesthetic. No, because the color the player doesn't see. The color is just for
No, yeah.
you. But it's like also how you can like make it so hey, it rains in this area but doesn't rain in this area and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. No, but by aesthetic I meant like while you're editing you can easily differentiate just as visually, but okay.
Usually like you have like texture on for editing or something. Dynamic light tends to be a pain in the butt because of lighting.
And I'm just far more familiar with like the Quake engine or the Half-Life engine. Not totally, but more than Unreal, so it's interesting to me. See how it works.
Okay. Another test. Are these 48 by 48 like they're supposed to be? If these vents aren't even 48 by 48, I'm just going to recreate them. Why is it important vents are 48 by 48? Because that is the crouching size of Duke. That's the smallest size that Duke can get into, and it just makes it feel cool.
Ah.
Well, maybe it'll do it again. Seems like it's gonna do it again. Oh, Discord's gonna crash. It's gonna crash real good. What? Oh my god, shocking. Discord didn't crash. Discord lives another day.
Okay, there we go.
Gmod might crash, though. Seems like it's on the brink. Oh, wait, no, maybe not. Oh, no, it definitely crashed. Oh, wait, maybe. Gary's mod. It's always touch and go. Oh, no, I think it did crash. Oh, wait, no, making noise. It's making wind noise. I think that means it's not going to crash. My computer is warning me that temperatures are plummeting. Maybe I should be concerned.
I've never had a computer with a temperature gauge.
Windows 10 has one. It tells you the weather. It's in the taskbar.
Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Oh, come on. It's sitting it ready to play. Just fucking go. Oh. Is this what my life is? Waiting for Gary's mod to load? Everything is Gary's mod loading. Probably was a pointless reference. Come on. I'm tired of sitting here waiting for this goddamn bullshit to load.
Okay. Oh, it's Area 51. That's the vent texture.
Oh god, it's making broken source game looping sound effects. That's always fun. My eardrums hurt. Thanks, Gary's mod.
That's what I'm looking for.
You're always too loud. Nope, now they're looping slower. That means it's almost loaded. Nope.
Okay.
I'm getting 1 FPS. Why am I getting 1 FPS? Oh good, something's creating errors like it always is. Just crash already. Tired of waiting. Oh, wait. No. Are you done now? Can I play
I have never played Gary's mod.
For
I've
real?
had it for years in my Steam library, and I've never booted it up.
Seriously. You should absolutely play Gary's mod. It's very fun.
Go
Yeah.
play
It says
JB mod.
Our Steam says I have a playtime of 6.3 hours, but that is probably for the Steam card idling I was doing.
Do you have friends?
Yes.
If you do, play Gary's mod with them.
Yeah,
It's always
there's
fun.
a lot of fun game modes to play.
I
Or
always just play
mess around in
Sandbox.
Sandbox.
I heard there's an alternative to Gary's mod coming out now because Gary's mod did something unfavorable that people didn't like.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You mean
JB mod is a joke.
You might have fallen for the joke.
Yeah,
JB
JB mod it's a joke, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know a thing about it.
It's been a long joke.
A near-long joke.
It's been, came out like 10 years ago and got abandoned until recently.
Where it got a Steam release for some ungodly reason. Someone really went, yes. Give
Just
JB
going really
mod
meta.
Steam release. JB mod was basically like this whole troll thing, right? Where it was Gary's mod before Gary's mod, right? And so there was this there was this guy that got control over JB mod, and he just constantly made comics about fucking being a troll and insulting Gary's mod, and it was very funny for a time. But now JB mod is back. And for no reason, it's the same. It hasn't changed in 15 years or something. I don't know why it's on Steam now.
You can tell I'm definitely out of the loop.
Apparently, Gary was so scared of JB mod, that's why he kept updating Gary's mod.
yeah, because JB mod always kept updating that they were gonna have the big update, which would be the G mod killer. So fucking Gary Newman kept going, shit, gotta keep updating Gary's mod. Can't let JB mod take all the thunder. So that's why we got updates for Gary's mod for so fucking long, and we still do.
Mission accomplished, I guess.
The guy who made JB mod actually terrified Gary Newman.
The guy who made it didn't even know that this was still happening.
Yeah.
Somebody else had the account.
The guy who got control of the website.
I think his name is Snakes or something. Snakeses? I don't know. Something funny like that. Anyway, yeah, whole thing's been going on for years and it's hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
JB Mod is on Steam, so people are talking about it again. And then people stop talking about it again.
But there is basically like a Gary's Mod 2 coming out, like Source and Box.
SN Box?
Yeah.
The SN Box isn't really Gary's Mod 2.
It's not, but it can't be the same.
It's not
Source
anything
engine is
like
very
Gary's Mod.
Gary's Mod is basically just goofing around with the Half-Life 2 Source engine.
I think they added workshop support finally, or like their own add-on browser thing. I don't know. It's very weird. SN Box is a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah.
It's more of meant to be like developer tools to the public because Source 2 doesn't have those right now, and I don't think they will get official ones.
Besides, like S2FM, which isn't a developer tool, and Source 2 is not going to get developer tools, sadly.
So Source 2 is never gonna come out, really.
I mean,
I've been hearing about it for like a decade. It gets a little bit of use in like Counter-Strike, like menus, and Dota.
Half-Life Alyx is Source 2.
Yeah, there's that.
Is CS:GO not Source 2?
Only the menus.
Yeah, only the menus are made in Source 2. The rest is normal. Source 2 is weird.
Source 2 is JB Mod.
As in, it's elusive and will never come out.
Yeah, it's not real.
Oh my god, Source 2 is the next Duke Nukem Forever.
It really is.
Can't wait for Half-Life 3 and the Source 2 engine.
I'm just glad at least we got Alex.
Yeah, and it's a great game.
I do not have VR, and I refuse to play a VR game in the non-VR mode because that doesn't.
I hear
playing it in non-VR is just like, why are you even playing the game?
I hear there's a new mod for Half-Life Alyx out now called what's it called? Levitation. Watch some people play it. It's pretty awesome.
I've heard about that. What is it? Tell me what it is. I have no idea what it is.
It's a continuation of Alyx, but it's a fan-made.
Does it have the cremator? I need to know.
I have no idea. I've only watched like.
I don't know that. There's one cool area in the game though where you're in a train that's moving, and there are other trains next to you, and they're shooting in at you, and you have to shoot back at them. And man, that's neat.
I need the Half-Life Alyx cremator. I need it. I need it in my life.
Yeah.
You've got the leaked image. That's all you're gonna get.
I hate you. You're ruining my life.
They cut it from Alex after it had already been cut from 2. I'm like, come on, get at least.
It was like almost in 2 as well. There's all sorts of references to it in 2. I have no idea why they cut it.
Well,
lights into here, but that works.
I don't think it would have looked good in Alyx based off the concept arcs. Purple is not a good color on aliens like that.
I mean, they could have always changed it.
Well, concept art isn't final.
Yeah, concept art isn't final.
I know that they probably weren't gonna put a horse into the game, and they didn't. The alien horse.
There's an alien horse planned for Half-Life Alyx?
Yeah, it was literally just a horse, but its head was like replaced with a spike.
Weird.
Let me find it.
Wow.
So it's innovative enemy design.
Well, it wasn't meant to be an enemy by itself. It was going to be like a combine with like a lance or something.
What the hell?
And he
Are
was
you
going to
sure?
ride the horse. Let me find it.
Is this real?
It sounds pretty goofy.
This sounds like something you're making up.
It's goofy enough to sound real.
Yeah, here we are. I found it.
Put it in no mic, General.
Yeah, I am.
What the hell? Is that a stun baton on a stick?
Yeah, it's the big old lance stun baton or whatever you'd call it.
What? Who? Why?
Cool.
I guess, kind of.
Spitballing, that's why. Just seeing if it looked good. I can't. This doesn't seem very combine-ish to me.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I
The
know
horse head
they have
is,
to
but the body should be, more combine-y.
It should have like Strider legs or something. Strider style legs.
Yeah.
Liquid, I thought I'd ask, do you prefer mapping in Doom or Unreal? I've never mapped in Doom, so I've never done any mapping in Doom.
I mapped a little bit with Doom Builder, which is kind of neat. It's kind of like Build, where you can walk around in the 3D space as well as go to 2D.
Okay.
But I haven't used it very much. I really like mapping in Build. And Build 2. Has anyone tried Build 2?
No.
That's fun.
I tried to take a
The
look
unfinished-
at mapping in Build, but I probably should watch like a tutorial on how it actually works, because when I looked at it, it was just like, I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, when Duke Nukem 3D first came out, I was a kid, and my dad bought it, and we discovered it had the build engine docs on the CD.
Mm-hmm.
My dad printed the whole thing out, and I was poring over it like every day and experimenting with stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's like with all Ken Silverman stuff. It's kind of like approaching 3D modeling by using Blender. It's just off the beaten path, different from everything else. But once you get the hang of it, it's easy and it's kind of fun.
I've tried to learn Blender like 3 times. I can't do it. I don't know. I can't do Blender. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I mean, my only understanding of Blender is what I've used to like import models into our game, and it's not too bad. I don't do any actual modeling.
No, I mean it's not like hard to use. I don't know. I never find the motivation to do anything in Blender.
I followed some tutorial videos and got the hang of it pretty quick. It's definitely different. I'm not a big modeler, but I've done a little modeling. Once you get the hang of that too, it's kind of fun.
I learned Blender during the major pandemic shutdown. I literally had no other time in my hands, and I went, you know what? Knuckle down. Let's see if I can finally do this.
Very cool.
It wasn't easy, but I'm still proud of myself, because then I went on to freelance for a number of individuals.
Nice.
I did nothing productive during the pandemic, like nothing at all.
I'm still proud of one model I managed to build. It was for someone's N64 style game. I don't even know if it ever came out or not. I made a full model, head to heel, and only 340 polygons.
What are the normal polygon counts of N64 models?
300 to about 350, give or take.
Cool. Right on.
So being able to actually pull that one off was honestly.
Was it an N64 style game, you said?
Yes.
What kind of game was it?
From what I was told, he was wanting to do something akin to Zelda.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if it had anything to do with that Agent 64 game that's on Steam right now.
No, I don't think it was.
No, it wouldn't be if it was a Zelda style. That game's pretty neat, by the way, if anyone hasn't played it.
I've never played it. I haven't even heard of it till right now.
But believe it or not, there are multiple ways to actually make an N64 character.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I imagine so.
No,
it's cool. It's like a game in the style of GoldenEye 64, but without any, IP wrangling.
Yeah.
Because most people would think it's just one solid character, that all the polygons connect, but during my research and research and poring over the models, there were actually two major ways that you build characters that way. I just said, and I call it a blob characters, where each portion of the character is its individual section, unconnected but merged together.
So
if that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Especially with some models that get, dismembered by explosions and stuff.
Ganon from Ocarina of Time is one such model.
Yeah, that's a big one too, so it makes sense. In pieces. That's my favorite design of Ganon, by the way, from Ocarina of Time. I guess because it looks the least like a pig. Or a boar.
Majora's Mask always creeped me out as a tyke.
I still haven't played through that game. The time limitation scares me.
Dude, same. That is what's turned me off of it every time. I've heard it so
And
good.
I heard that when you go back and
enjoy Legend of Zelda too, but it's just like that makes me feel weird.
Yeah, same way.
And yet for some people it's their favorite. Like
it's multiple
people's
favorite.
The time limit, like, it's not just that it's a time limit because you don't die or anything. Like, well, I guess you do, but you can just restart. But you can travel back in time, but when you do, you lose your stuff, and that's what turned me off. I'm like, what? I got to do everything all over again? I'm not doing this.
It just seemed like kind of a lot to deal with, and I didn't like. I didn't like Majora's Mask. I don't know. Maybe because I wasn't like alive when Majora's Mask was like came out, so I don't get.
Well, there's a lot of little mini side quests you got to do to help people, and if you don't, and you got to do them all before the last day. By the time you've finished everything, and it's a lot of time management, like huge time management, as I understand it.
I don't like time management stuff though.
Yeah.
One of the things that definitely helped me, and I consider it an absolute jackpot, was the Giga Leak.
What, the Nintendo Giga Leak? What about it?
A lot of the ins and outs of how they made the final version of Ocarina of Time.
Oh, okay.
I was able to study it.
Okay.
Are you talking about the models again? Okay.
Yeah, he's talking.
Not just models, but other artwork.
Okay.
Cool.
Such as the towns and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Towns are just PNGs though. More like JPEGs. Right?
Towns, from what I've studied, were full models.
And then
some of them were full models, and then were basically screen capped, so you'd put it up as a image.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, that was a very like Resident Evil's way of doing things, wasn't it?
Yes,
Honestly,
it
was a
Kinda
very era way
use
of
that.
doing things. Like, I mean, even Final Fantasy like 7 had a lot of like pictures that were just slapped over.
Yeah. Grim Fandango on the
Honestly,
computer.
even this game has a lot of things that are just literal pictures in real life that are then just slapped.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Like the
boarded
chainsaw,
up.
not the jetpack, the chainsaw. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Fine.
I don't know. There are a couple.
The reflection in the elevator too on the walls is a texture, and that kind of weirded me out. But in that first elevator, it's not a texture, right? It's actually a reflection. In the first level, was that changed or was that always like that?
What? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The elevator in the first level.
With
The
its
elevator in the
weird
first level
reflection?
was changed.
To an actual reflection.
See, it's so what ended up happening. Oh, I don't know if that was enabled by us or not. I see what you're asking now. I don't know.
Because when I exited, the elevator on the first level, and then it switched to the second level, the walls of the elevator completely changed, and it was textured reflection instead of an actual reflection.
Thing. That's not something that was intended. That's like a bug thing.
A bug? How so?
Alright, I forgot I downloaded that.
Going to the whole texture thing, the the reason why they did that on the N64, Hellfire, you can still see that on the GameCube games, was simply put to save a lot of the grunt for the 3D models.
Also, memory
Oh, yeah.
limitations because
there's just not the performance wasn't there.
The performance, the memory. Frankly, there was a lot of problems that they were trying to deal with.
That's what I assumed.
Cartridge disadvantages be like.
It wasn't just cartridges. Even you can still run out of CD space.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying the N64 was affected by it the most since it used cartridges.
I will forever be impressed with the Resident Evil 2 on N64.
Oh yeah, that's crazy impressive. I got no idea how they did that.
That's cleaned up quite a bit more as far as PSPs go now. Is this one still there? Hey, that one's gone.
Cool.
That's good.
No, I hit a wall. Ow. Wait,
This
did
one
I
isn't
install
happening anymore either.
Oh god, I have so many guns. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Oh,
Are those world holes you were talking about?
Yep.
BSP holes, yeah.
Yeah, BSP holes are like the black holes that show up that sometimes eat entire...
Is it BSP though in Unreal? I thought BSP was just Quake.
No, it's BSP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was honestly expecting with how this engine seems to act that
Got a lot of guts. Let's see what they look like.
That what?
Like that there'd just be a hole like in the pool or something. Like just with how this engine reacts to stuff.
I gotta imagine on era-appropriate hardware, that pool room would be the hardest on performance.
Yeah, right next to right there next to Las Vegas Boulevard. Although I think I know how to fix Las Vegas Boulevard. I think I know what's wrong with it. Based on a conversation that we had, I was reading. It was actually because I found it because I was reading through a bunch of conversations looking for something for the kill Thad made, and then came across a long conversation about having the lights instead of set to strobe, have them set to there's another setting because the strobe effect on the lights is what's causing the frame rate to
Oh. Little things.
Yeah, dude. That issue you reported earlier in Buffet, where if you fire the RPG and take damage from it, that it crashes. So that bug started as when you load the level. If you get killed by something, it crashes the game. And so then it evolved to... Well, actually, I think it started at first with if you play the game from Casino to Buffet, it crashed. Then that was because there were so many NPCs spawning at the same time on the level that it was causing an overload of the commands in the log. And it was causing everything to bog down and then would eventually crash. So then once I changed everything to spawners, then it changed to every time you took damage. Then we cleaned up a whole bunch of other stuff. So there's always all kinds of little optimizations that need to be tweaked and set to kind of get things...
Although the last time I played that level, I waited a little bit, and then I could fire the RPG just fine. So...
That's interesting.
But if it does crash and you load the autosave, it crashes instantly when you load the level.
Yep.
Oh, that was bad.
Very quirky. I guess this is known issue, but I notice in windowed mode the performance tanks quite a bit compared to full screen.
What? I thought it was the other way around.
Not for me.
I find the game runs better in full screen as well.
Really? I thought it was broken in screen.
Nope.
No, full screen is the only way to... And then if you go window and then back to full screen, the performance is still bad. You have to close the whole game and start it in full screen for it to be... smoother.
So that should be fixed soon. That has to deal with the game not choosing drivers properly. Raziel made a fix for that. It's been posted. It just hasn't been merged into level design stable yet.
Okay. What's the best driver to use right now?
Probably DirectX 9.
Okay.
Okay, that's still too far for those guys. They're more visible.
I found myself turning off detail textures because I just think it looks better.
Step right up and get some.
Really? Because detail textures.
Yeah, the detail textures.
What does that?
Yeah, and when they're on, it's like the whole screen is like got edge enhancement on or something, and it's just too busy. When I played it, anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's something with my particular setup. So I just turned it off and like, yeah, this looks like an old game. This is fine. Like, it doesn't look as nice as like Unreal, where the detail textures aren't obtrusive. But I imagine it's just the difference in the engines, or everything 3DR did to it. I don't know.
Well, 3DR did a lot of weird, random shit to this engine. Some of it's cool, some of it's weird. Like, they added MP3 support. I don't know why they couldn't just convert things, but MP3 support.
Well, the best part is that all the sound files are still WAV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's MP.
I don't know why they wouldn't
music
have.
is MP3 and sound is WAV.
I don't know why they wouldn't have gone with OGG, because OGG was superior back then.
Yes, it was. Or just stuck with WAVs.
Well, that would have bloated up the file size.
Well, I mean, wow, that was a terrible voice crack. Apologies.
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly, Rainbow. That's what I'm trying to do, is get these grunts to actually, do something.
Shoot me, goddammit.
Because I agree, I think the grunts will add more dynamic combat to the area. It's just...
For sure.
Work.
Is there a guy sitting in a lawn chair down there?
Yeah, looks like it.
He's just gonna stay in the lawn chair during the combat.
Is he like dead there, or is he like a zombie that gets up? That'd be neat.
I don't know. I'm assuming he's a carcass. Yeah, he's a barrel right now for some reason, because whoever made it didn't know how to make decorative corpses.
He's alive. He's just ignoring you. He doesn't care about what's going on around him.
He's just like, I'm old and I'm gonna enjoy my. No one's gonna stop me.
Yes, this area is inspired by the 2003 footage. The zombies are slow. They make you what makes you just unable to use the RPG? Nothing, other than the fact that you had to find the RPG a couple levels back. But I hear you. I really I don't know. Maybe
It looks like an arena, this room, and it should be one of the more interesting combat zones, as well as visual set pieces to be in. Right. I'd say. That's what it feels like it should be anyway.
This is assuming, of course, but I'm assuming you guys have snipers working, so why not put snipers up high and then put just normal grunts on the ground floor?
Could do that.
Maybe you should introduce do we have a scope weapon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we should use that in this area.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Since it's so big, I just figured.
I don't know. The sniper rifle feels like it should be introduced later in the game.
It does, but I don't know how else to. I'm just spitballing. I don't know how else to make this an effective combat area. It's so big.
Just gave you the finger.
I don't know. Maybe put down.
Because when I was right here, those guys were interested in me, but these guys still don't even notice I exist.
This would actually be a really good area for fighting a mutant hog or something. Because you could door them. You should put one in there. Well, there might be too many props actually.
Oh god, you're those guys. What triggers you?
What triggers what?
These dudes right here.
Oh, EDF guys?
Yeah.
Magic.
What determines if their head pops off and starts attacking you? Is that random, or does it depend on where you kill them?
Okay, so this is the trigger that triggers those guys up there.
Good to know.
But what trigger activated these guys?
Your mom.
Thanks, man.
Maybe you should just script them to come towards that tunnel as soon as you're exiting, and then they'll notice you.
I think those triggers are for those doors.
That's a nice animation for that.
There should be a Duke 3D reference whenever you open one of the stalls. There's just like a fucking there's just an EDF soldier behind it. It'd be funny.
Doors are broken. Those have got to get fixed.
Those doors are very broken.
I noticed that when I was playing. That sink looked a little gimpy too.
That's because the particle system for the sink is messed up.
Hmm.
Okay, so there aren't even. Okay, so it's these guys who are spawning. Breach suitcase. Well, I didn't breach the suitcase.
When you shot,
Does the game still need to be in the root folder Duke 4? Oh, like the root directory of the drive?
I suggest that.
Yeah.
It's always good for older games to have them in short directories and things. It's important.
I'll spread mine out by playtest, but I keep it within like a folder with short names.
I thought it was specifically, like, at least earlier on, it only... Yeah, that's what I was... Yeah, okay. So that's not the case anymore.
No, it's not the habit. That's not the case anymore.
Yeah, I don't know about the editor, but ever since the leak, I've had it in like random directories at least.
It's been on my D drive in my Duke 4 folder. That's where it stays. It's where everything about this game stays. I even have 2011 on my D drive. I just have, like, I don't know. I just put random shit in there. Like a 500 gigabyte laptop hard drive. Is that the briefcase that spawns an RPG for some reason?
Yeah.
Reminds me of that unturned clip of the guy shooting a pizza box and like a fucking LMG pops out of it.
Yeah. Like the Jetsons flying car that folds up into a little box.
No, if you shoot the briefcase, it'll burst open and we'll have a RPG in it.
I know. I'm that's what I mean. Like it's size thing.
Oh, okay. Anyways, there's some clip of some YouTuber playing Unturned, and he shoots a pizza box, and like like a 249 saw pops out of it, and it's just like very funny.
Yeah, that's why I was making the comparison. Like the Jetsons, the guy had a flying car that it's in the future, and if he folds it up into this little box and puts it on a shelf when he goes to work.
Okay.
Like big things in small packages joke.
That reminds me of something I can't describe.
Awesome. We got some animating robo dealers. That's very cool.
What? They have animations now? Oh my god.
Yeah, they're going to have some animations. That's cool. Alright. So what's this guy? This is another one I accidentally put all the way up here. Yeah, let's place him back down.
I'm amazed. I can't wait till the boy.
Let me get rid of that guy.
There better be tidy bots in this, by the way. I'm joking. But
I think the tidy bots would be cool.
Yeah, they would be a cool little detail, but you know. I imagine they were cut because, you know, they don't really serve a purpose. They would just add lag.
What were the tidy bots?
They're like the
little
easy,
tiny
they're
robots.
like the buddy bots, but they're little boxes.
Oh,
and they clean up stuff. There's textures for them in the game, but their model was deleted. There's also concept art of them. They're very cute. That's kind of why I want them in the game. I find them cute.
All right, so I think I am
Can't
gonna
wait till the
set up
blender
this
tools
last
are ready.
thing and then probably call it a stream.
All
I
right.
want to take these guys here, get rid of them, and then what we're gonna do is, what's this trigger? People run. Perfect. So we're gonna keep that. People run. Go back into here. It's like weird. If you're super gentle with it, it works in Linux not too bad. But a lot of the time, you don't really want to be the most ginger.
Don't stress the editor.
Very cool.
Don't stress Duke's enormous tool. I'm sad that it's not that the boot screen isn't the Evangelion ones. I thought it was funny.
You can just swap it back out.
Oh well, I know you can, but like still.
Yeah, we couldn't. As much as I do love Evangelion.
I just think it's funny.
Oh, I think it's funny too. Don't get me wrong.
I think I watched one episode of Evangelion and there was too much children screaming. I didn't like.
George, well, all right. Well, really gonna go there now, I guess. But you just gotta watch the sub and not the dub. It is one of those. You can't watch the sub, or you can't watch the dub. The dub is just—it's not it, man. It's just not cricket. I'm telling you.
Is it on Netflix or am I gonna have to search for it?
I don't know.
I don't want to have to search for it. I don't want to go on 9
The
anime.
sub is on Netflix, but the subtitles.
Hold on.
The subtitles are completely different from what the original meaning was, so you're gonna have to probably fish for like some sort of copy.
Cody. Who is?
After classes. Dispatcher.
Give me this thing. All right. Those suitcases look way too high poly. Like, I'm looking at them. They look way too high poly over there. Those do not look like 2001 models.
Suitcases?
Yeah, like over on
The
the
luggage carrier.
Yeah.
They look really good.
I think
Yeah,
that's
they
the
do.
problem.
But
Like a
they
lot
look-
of like the models in this are from the Quake 2 era. That's like another issue with like the models we have already.
Perfectly fine though. I mean,
Yeah.
Are these new models or
not that
Honestly-
one? Go over to the other ones in that thing. Yeah, like look at that thing. That's like
It's not that
ludicrous.
high poly though. I mean,
It's not that high
quality.
poly.
Whatever.
You can like get a lot of detail with just texture work anyway.
Yeah.
it looks pretty round, but that might just be the texture. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, textures are what makes low poly models look real good sometimes.
Honestly, the
Do we have,
texture work is the only reason I was really into Duke Nukem Forever. I'd never seen anything like it in 2001.
It was pretty crazy for the time.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. I think things like this, like pool, are just proof that the game is still very pretty. Like, it still has a lot of charm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do we have a maximum poly count cap for making assets?
I don't know. I'm not
Like just to
I'm
keep
not
the
really-
aesthetic of the era, or
I assume so. I can't remember. I've looked over the documentation that the art team has a couple times, but I can't.
From what I remember when I last read it, it was just keep it as simple as possible, but don't simplify it too much.
right?
I need my 4K Nukem. We gave
I
him
mean, there
extra
comes a
power.
point too where it's like you're designing levels that can't run on the old hardware anyway. So how, you know,
We're trying to allow it, keep it to that point, but at the same time, yeah, realistically, we are going to hit a point where it's going to be hard.
yeah. I honestly like the presentation of it more than just the like a hard rule or anything. So it all just kind of gels.
Yeah.
But having a ton of I don't care about having a ton of enemies or something. The more fun, the better.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of those heads, has there been any talk about maybe adding a feature to be able to kick them with the mighty foot and roll them around? Because they go static once they're dead.
That can be really fun.
Postal 2 style head fetch win.
What game was I playing recently that did that?
Iron Fury
Blood.
has it where you
Blood
stumble.
does that, right?
Yeah, Blood and Iron Fury both where like you just stumble into it and it kicks them. But I was thinking it doesn't necessarily have to be that aware, where it's just if you kick it with mighty foot, even
it'll go.
So
flying.
someone has to actually like discover it.
Just
I haven't seen him go
interactable.
pick up heads and toss them.
And as a Deus Ex reference, because I know Rainbow's playing through it, I just really want to be able to take the basketball out of Duke's study and throw it into the socket of the Cycloid Emperor.
Nice.
Like, I don't know, have you guys ever done that in Deus Ex? You can actually pick up a basketball and throw it through a hoop, and then it doesn't, like, all you hear is like cheering. Just a random audience from somewhere makes a cheering sound. But
nice.
It's I think it's in like the Hell's Kitchen level or something where you're outdoors.
Okay.
But I've thrown it through the cycloid model like 3 or 4 times since I've been playtesting.
Amazing.
Okay, so women running. Want you to use random NPC
Thing Factory.
No.
Why does your mesh viewer have like nothing in it besides?
It's just because it's Linux. It wasn't even on the mesh viewer.
Ugh, weird.
It's just some weird graphical bug.
Oh. Huh. Weird.
Don't be visibly snatched.
What's the worst version of Windows, do you think? What, like ME, probably? Me?
The first what? Sorry?
Hands down, ME.
What's the worst version?
Oh, the worst. I thought you said first. I'd say ME was the first truly bad one, yeah.
Alright, well, what's second place, you think? 8?
8.
I'd put Vista as
Vista's
worse.
pretty bad. Vista's pretty ass.
See, at least the user interface was usable.
Yeah, like
That's
it had
true.
a
Okay,
start
yeah,
menu.
Windows 8.
Windows 8 didn't even have a start menu.
Windows
Yeah,
Vista was on
Windows
the
8 was
first computer
bad.
I ever got new.
My gripe
Windows
against
8.
Vista is it was too far ahead of the hardware that it was released on. Whereas like Windows 8 was comparable to 7 performance-wise.
It was also missing some of the, traditional interface cues, and they brought some of that back with 7 too, so 7 was even better for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 was Microsoft hedged all their bets on everyone using touch devices from then on. That didn't work out too well.
No, it didn't.
No.
The Windows Phone tanked.
The worst part, I think, was the server side of things. Like 2012 ended up embracing that whole start menu concept too, or start screen, whatever they call it. And if you're like in an RD web, like an RDP window or something like that, you can't actually use the Windows key to back out of it if you click on it. It was just awful.
I had like no idea how to use Windows 8 when I first started messing with it, because I did use it for like all of 15 minutes, because I had a terrible laptop with Windows 8 on it, and I had no idea what was happening.
I'm trying to remember. There's a way I can set them to immediately run to a cover point when they spawn. Maybe it's
4 hours.
actual. Here it is. Yep, there we go. Okay. So I want to set all of these guys to retreat on startup true. And then we're going to go into wired mode.
Well, it's been fun, but I gotta go.
Yep. Honestly, I'm wrapping up this this right here and then basically calling it myself, so.
Alright. Well,
thanks for stopping
Take
by.
it easy.
Later.
Keep it easy.
Yep. Goodbye.
Ba, ba, ba. Okay. And then
Liquid, should I put that head kicking thing in GitHub? Would that help? As like a suggestion. I'll throw that in there.
So Liquid, what do you consider to be some of the most complicated things I've seen in levels in the league? Like stuff that makes you look at it and say that's magic. Dude, any of the games. Like if you look at the pinball system, or if you look at like the pinball machines and the like the DDR machines, all that stuff is incredibly just crazy. Ridiculously complicated.
The pinball machine. How does it work? I could only flick one side of the paddle. I couldn't do the right side.
It's just
and
a
I
left and
couldn't
right mouse
start
button.
the game. Oh, it didn't work for me. Right mouse button didn't do anything.
Okay.
Is that a binding thing? Because I changed my right mouse button to walk.
Oh, yes, it is a binding thing.
Okay, what is the bind that triggers it then? What is right mouse button usually?
Alt fire would probably trigger it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so they didn't run to the spot they were supposed to, but they spawned. These are a fun new thing. Randomly generated NPCs. NPC women with randomly generated clothes and hair and faces.
Nice.
There's the young. There's the old.
I'm still getting like hair glitches in my version too.
How so?
Like one person I saw had blonde hair and it was full bright in a dark room, and depending on the angle I could see it through her head or something.
Something with the way it's attached.
It depends on if it's mounted or if it's an accessory. There's lighting issues. It just depends on how the hair is applied to the model. It's weird.
Okay.
Which map was that on?
Trying to remember.
Dark Hotel.
I'm gonna run through it again tonight, so
I had to make a guess.
if I run across it, I'll take a screenshot or something.
Awesome. Okay. I fixed that earlier in the stream. I fixed that one bug in, or I fixed that issue for you in Rooftops, Tara. So now when when you trigger the power, it moves the crane. And if you already move the crane, it doesn't move the crane back, so it's all set. I wonder if there aren't enough path nodes from here to there or something. Oh yeah, definitely there aren't. That might do it. You just spin these folks around.
I don't like it, Duke. It's too quiet.
Thanks.
I'm cocked, locked, and ready to rock, Duke.
Great. You're still not doing what you're supposed to, though. I'm glad you're cock blocked and ready to rock, but
So after I took that guy with the flashlight and found that what I assume is supposed to be his kid, they both start animating like they're fighting or something. Is that like supposed to be just a celebratory animation, or?
Yep. That was all
funny.
from the original league. The Hoover Dam, like at the Hoover Dam, you can bet with a Hoover Dam security guard like 2 hollow point clips if you win them at the hockey table on the 3rd level. Huh. That's cool. Oh, you're suggesting. I see, I understand. Let's see if this navigation thing works now. If it doesn't, though, honestly, I'm probably still gonna call it here. I'm getting a little tired. It's been 4.5 hours. I want to hang out with my girlfriend a little bit. Oh, hey. Got a bot in the chat. Wow, this is actually our first bot. I'm so proud.
It's a historic landmark.
Flag
My God.
and restrict. Suspicious user restricted. Okay, well, these guys still don't want to run over. For some reason, the third lady doesn't want to spawn either. I don't know why that is. I will mess with this more later, though.
Is Duke meant to be kicking on that side of the screen?
Yeah, it's a temporary bug.
How do you quick kick?
Q.
Oh, so finally that's...
Hey, I'm rebinding again. I use Q for something else now. What is the bind called? Is it just quick kick? Because I thought quick
80
kick
foot, maybe.
was just to select it as a weapon. I just gotta fool around with it more. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that dude's wearing security outfit.
My Kung Fu's the best.
He's not wearing a security outfit, he's wearing a maintenance worker's outfit.
Yeah.
Working here and stealing? Jeez.
Yeah, it's the end of the world.
Really pisses me off.
Oh, I didn't get shrunk.
Oh, is that supposed to shrink you?
Ruby.
That never. It just hurt me. It never did anything.
You just like stand still enough.
Oh. Yeah, I thought this kind of looked like a great little fun house to run around in while shrunk, but it never happened. Confused me.
I walked in the truck and died when I expanded.
Oh, into like the back of this truck or something like that?
Yeah. I climbed in there. Or I guess it's a box.
Oh, inside of here.
Yeah.
Oh, am I stuck?
Oh. He goofed.
Get the thumbnail shot here. Alright, guys.
Perfect.
Well,
Natural selection now.
yeah, it's like a little toy room. Can I do a playthrough of this level as if it were done? Yeah, sure, I can do that really quick. We'll end the stream on that. That sounds good. Yeah, the store is better. It still isn't perfect. You can saw right there. I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know that I'm going to be able to fix those flickering issues. I think it has something more to do with the render or something the way the store is set up. But this is the exact same elevator that's in Penthouse A, that's in Penthouse B, that's in Dark Hotel. Like, it doesn't make sense. They're all spawned from a map that's called elevator. Like there's an elevator in this test map.
Let's see what they look like.
Okay. So, also at this point you would have like shotgun and M16. And so you come out of here and those people who are spawning spawn in over here. They come running through this hallway. Some snatched come through behind them, and then there'll be some more like dead people like laying about that when you come up to them they come back to life. So you've got to play through here, which actually, so you'll have to, this is how it currently is at least. It will be a little changed in the final for the demo, but you find the employee that has the key card to the security room, which in this case is this lady right here. Let me see if I can get this to trigger. Damn.
I think you did shrink slightly. Not enough, it looks like.
So you come through here, and there's a bunch of
I'm just getting started.
zombies.
Step right up and get some.
EDF starting to push.
And when they first really start showing up, the EDF. Right?
Well, this is like the second highlight of the EDF.
Looks like Lady Luck just gave you the finger.
So you fight through those guys. You know, not too bad. Come into here.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Kind of get to fight them through this fire
Kids,
here.
I'm a professional. Don't try this at school. Step right up and get some. Let's dance. Who's next?
Are you not supposed to climb up that fallen beam or whatever?
No, that fallen beam is the ideal path. I just haven't made this
You're just
consistently
ignoring
hurt
it?
you enough yet.
Hmm.
But yes, this is the intended path, is to avoid the fire by climbing up here.
Is there a path to avoid the fire on the way out that I've...
Yeah, I couldn't find one.
Yes.
I did not see that. Under the desk.
Nor
New hardware.
Playtesters. So it was in your version, Brandon, but for playtesters, it's not in your version, and that's how you avoid the fire.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And so now I threw both of those switches, and so you can come up into explore into here.
Does that open up, or was that always a
It
little?
opened up.
Okay.
Bastard.
Behind the shelf or whatever.
You can kind of see the end of the buffet now. Although we'll have to add some of the stuff that's from the end of buffet there, so you can actually see it here. These guys are supposed to spawn a little soon.
Looks
so it
like
looks
Lady
they're
Luck
actually in
just
the
gave you the finger.
As a side note, the laser rifle can actually shoot through those gates.
Oh, all guns can. You can shoot normal pistols.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure that was designed.
But the enemies can't. Don't know.
Yeah.
I did notice that Terminator can shoot through these walls.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, and these are those chairs we were talking about earlier.
Ah.
The ones that pop up out of the ground, but aren't set to do that.
Step right up and get some. This really pisses me off. This really...
I keep forgetting that gun has grenades.
The grenades on that are so busted, it's great.
I always used RPGs here. Or pipe bombs. I completely forgot the M16 has a grenade launcher.
I was kind of caught off guard when I first played the League. I didn't expect the grenades to be so bouncy. Like, you just got a pinball that explodes.
Yeah, they're bouncy, but they explode immediately if you hit an enemy.
Yeah, which is nice. Not
Kinda,
everybody have that.
it's like Demo Man.
Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me while I push my entrails back in.
Yeah, you can shoot through the walls, but you can't shoot through the poker table.
You can shoot through the poker table.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah. And this also I want to tweak this fighting fight here. But I don't like how tight it is. I want the player to be able to move around a little more. It's a really hard fight, to be honest with you. I just run through
Very corridor.
through this a million times. So I want to remove this wall and this wall so that you can you have all of this area.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of fight him now instead.
And he shoots through it anyway, so...
Yeah, right.
You might as well have it open.
Yes, Shivexi is part of the project. And then that leads you into the fight.
Where everything broke for me.
Oh.
Boom.
So yeah.
Wasn't.
But yeah, Shavaxi is part of the project. He is doing some voice work for us. He's also he took the time to make an awesome tutorial for Unreal and Ducat as well. As well
Awesome.
as he's here to he's lent advice and stuff like that. He was one of the old Unreal devs, as far as my understanding. He did help with some of those community patches and stuff like that. So his help is definitely
Cool.
appreciated.
I didn't know that. Pretty neat.
But yeah, like I said, I think that's where we're gonna call for today.